Ladies and gentlemen, viewer discretion is advised. The following broadcast may contain flashing images because Matt Elmore has returned. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to BSTV. You've joined us for the TCR Challenge Cup, and we are in rounds 15 and 16. That's right, we're well over halfway now through this season 13 of the TCR Challenge Cup. We're at Road America, and I am Pete Bingham, Pete Bing Chillin, as I'm told I need to be called, and I am joined in the booth tonight by Sir Alan of Toon. Good evening.
Good evening, Pete. Good evening, everybody.
This is a sweltering track, really. 41 degrees in America at the moment, here at Urquhart Lake, for Road America. One of my favourite tracks, Alan. And I know it features highly on lots of people's calendars. Lots of endurance races come here. It really lends itself to that endurance format. But for me, it's a great favourite, and I'm sure it is for you as well.
Yes. Oh, love the place, of course. And it's great in their Mix 5, and it's great in the TCR. Do you know what I mean? It was great in the Porsche RSR.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic circuit. It doesn't matter what car you bring it.
No, it doesn't. And we've been here before with the TCRs, and it was a great race. And there's no reason why it should be any different this evening. As our microphone compare alluded to before, He's just vanished off the screen there, but Matt Elmore has rejoined for possibly just for one race. We're not sure yet. We'll see.
Very nice to see Matt, though.
Yeah, he's clearly got nothing better to do than race with us here. But we're happy to have him back as long as he doesn't flash his lights. But the chances of that are remote to nil. We are approaching the very dying deaths of the practice session. They have a 75-minute practice session in this league, followed by 15 minutes qualifying. Then we've got a oh god, I've forgotten now. It's a half an hour race, isn't it?
It's 20 minutes.
Is it 20 minutes or 40 minutes? God, I do too many leagues, Alan. I get confused. But we gives us a chance to go through some other bits and pieces, of course. So
yeah, well, you know, Pete, we've got all the league. It's getting very exciting, isn't it? So we're getting to the sharp end now, aren't we?
we
How
are.
many races have we got left?
I don't know who that was. I think that was Stephen Walker that just smashed into the pit wall. Yeah, I think he was. That's one way to park it, that's for sure. So let's have a quick look at current standings. We're on the right-hand column, folks. Before Alex says anything, I'm not going to press for the cookies because I can't. So Miguel Freitas, Big Mig, is still out in front. He's not as out in front as he used to be, though. Spencer McCarthy has drawn that gap in. You can see it on your screens. 24 points is the gap to Spencer. Sam Blees, Spencer's sister teammate, they're not in the same team, is 63 points behind Spencer. And then we've got Wobbly in 4th place, he's had some good results recently. He's been a bit sketchy throughout the season in terms of completing races. But he did overtake Gary Craig and take that 4th place in the championship away from him last race. So Gary's in 5th. Carl Hardy's in 6th, with Freddie in 7th, Lee Bowden in 8th, and then Jamie Wilson and Jamie Jeffrey are on joint 9th place with 473 points. So it remains pretty close, Alan. It's pretty fraught.
Wobbly is coming strong at the end of the season. He's been flying, hasn't he? He's been very quick, and I'm told he's rapid here tonight as well. So, you know, he's making a strong push at the end of the season. He's got past Gary. Carl is doing very well, 6th place. But look at Freddie and Lee, you know, both well in the top 10, doing really well. And edging Jamie Wilson and Jamie Jeffrey, who have, you know, really had a great season, the pair of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jamie Jeffries had better seasons. Last season, he was absolutely unstoppable, really. But you're right, Carl Hardy, Freddie and Lee all doing extremely well. And they've all sat races out as well. So that accounts for their drop scores. Obviously, when the two scores in both columns match, the driver has had one drop week already, as in they've sat it out.
Well, top 10, any top 10 in this league is... some doing, I think, you know.
Oh, definitely.
Anybody to get in the top 10, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. So let's have a quick look at team standings. Impulse Racing absolutely dominating at the moment. Geodesic Racing White are bringing in they're hauling the mail at the moment, actually. They're reducing that number. So that is Stephen Walker and Sam Blees. They've got a long way to go, don't get me wrong. But it is reducing, and then Spencer's team is sat behind that, which is Spencer and Matt Flannery on 1192, and BSTV 1132 with Safeguard by Results, who are doing a great job actually, on 1011 points. So that one less eagerly fought for at the moment because the gaps are big, but I think they'll continue to reduce, Alan.
Well, we hope so, don't we?
We do, for the viewer perspective.
You know, and it's great for the drivers as well. You know, they want to be involved in close to the end of the season. It's exciting.
Oh yeah.
Exciting with the drivers. Impulse look very strong, of course, but they've been fairly imperious and made a huge impact. This is really their first season, isn't it?
Obviously Wobbly betrayed BSTV and abandoned them to go and race with his new friends in Impulse Racing. And yeah, you're right, the gloves were thrown down very early on and they romped away at the start. I think that's starting to balance out now. I think everybody has taken it to them a little bit more. let's talk about the coveted driver of the meeting. Jamie Wilson is leading that at the moment with 3 points. Joint second is Lee Bowden, Miguel Freitas and Freddie. And then we've got a big massive fight for joint fifth. Gary, Stefan, Demis, Wobbly. I was having a week day that day. And Stephen Walker has clawed one in as well.
Well, yes, Wobbly had to just outstanding performance, or Wobbly to get a tick from you.
Yeah, I think I got a bit lightheaded. I'm not sure. I must take some more of those blood pressure pills.
This is Jamie's done very well. He's got 3. Look at Lee though. He's Liam, Miguel, both, and Freddie.
Yeah.
All on 2s. That's and they're all new to the league.
Yes. Yep, they are. It's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out. And Pete must be drunk out of his mind giving Wobbly driver of the meeting. Yes, you could not say that more accurately. Yeah. It looks like Fiona's maybe struggling with the heat. 103 Fahrenheit. Maybe not. Oh, it's just responding to somebody else's chat message. 23 cars going to be a fun watch for the viewers. It's going to be amazing for the viewers, I think, this one. And then Safe Driver Award. So Alan's Safe Driver Award. Currently flying the flag for your award, Alan, is Jamie Jeffrey again.
Fantastic. That's
brilliant, isn't it?
Fantastic by Jamie, because he's always in the thick of it.
Yeah, and look who's second.
Yeah, I know. Well, great by P. But it's a little more understandable. It's a bit quieter at P's end than it is where Jamie is generally.
You say that, but some of those... well, actually, you're right. Because Fiona finishes on the lead lap more than she ever used to, doesn't she? So,
yeah, well, that's right. She's been on lead lap and, really not very far off the pace.
Yeah.
And sticking in, that's the thing. She's a trade. She doesn't quit, loves to drive, loves to race.
And it's not like Fiona's done any less laps, because she does finish the race and does finish on lead lap. So she's done 3,146 laps to get that score. That's really impressive. And then Gary Craig sat in third. He's done a few more laps. But ultimately, where he is in the league, you can say as an all-rounder, he's probably the best. He's 5th in the league and 3rd in this. That says to me he's both fast and safe, Alan.
Yes, but yes, he's careful though. And Gary tends to drive within himself, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You don't really see him getting ragged.
No, not at all. No, he's very controlled and very. Yeah, you're right. Drives within his capabilities. Then we've got Demis Tigchalar for Racing Forces. That'll make Alex very happy. In 4th place there. Carl Hardy in 5th, showing again that he can drive without crashing, which is always good. Then we got Freddie.
Not without eating.
Of course. Then we got Freddie, Tony, Jamie, Miguel, and Matt Flannery in the top 10. So that is all of that. So here we are in qualifying now. Wobbly has set the bar for everybody to attain. A 2:21.06. Long lap round here, Alan, as it is for any car. Will that play in, do you think, to the strategy in the second race?
Everyone knows this circuit like the back of their hand. They'll have made every allowance for the length of the track, and 2:20 it's not too outstandingly long. But interesting how long the pit window will be open.
Yes. Yes. That's a good point, actually. Does that make it reduced or a longer pit window? I think it reduces the pit window. I don't know. Maths was never my strong point, despite how many degrees I might have. Okay. So, we've got some times on the board. Some people haven't set an official time yet. They're the ones at the bottom of the scoring board. I don't know whether Flashy, he's not got a council paint on. He joined that late in the day that he didn't actually get anything. Hang on, I'm trying to look for a very particular camera, although I don't know whether I'll find it or not. I just want to know whether his naming bar in the window says Flashy or Elmore. It should say Flashy. But we'll see later when he goes round. I can't find the right camera now. Okay, so he's back with us for at least one race. I knew it was too much for him to resist. He is a very fast driver, albeit he flashes his lights to annoy me because I find it offensive and intimidating from other drivers. Okay, so
Yes, but he'll be happy to be back on the track, and closely followed by his old friend by the looks of it there.
yeah, that is Carl Hardy chasing him around. Yep. Matt said he was going to start from pit lane. He doesn't have to if he's listening, or if somebody else is listening that can chat to him. He can start on the grid as long as he's sensible and doesn't get mixed up with all the key point scorers, I guess. But ultimately, very shortly, this is what's going to happen.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
Oh yes, yes. Never
See
seen.
what Stevens done.
No. Oh, good grief. Good grief. Oh my word. 220.65. Now that is kind of schooling everybody else, to be fair. Who's that in that yellow car? I think that is. I'm going to have to find him just to be sure. I think it's
Now we're going to get a raft of 220s. By the looks, people are going to be trying. Look at how close Sam is there.
I know, yeah, that is super close. That's pretty good. We've got Rob Sharp here. He raced with us last time out. He's in his proper paint now, in the fiercely forward paint there.
Yeah, lovely. Oh,
yeah.
Very nice. Like that.
It's good, isn't it?
I like yellow.
Freddie Van Eekhoven, I've actually got his name to read right this time, so
Yay, crikey.
don't drive on the grass. He's driven on the grass in shock there that I've got his name right. I think that's what's going on there. So Alex
Very
says,
nice blue and yellow car makes green.
yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah, British Racing Green would be nice, wouldn't it? Or Brooklands Racing Green, that'd be nice. Alex Sevillano says he should be racing soon here. Don't know whether he's meaning in the TCRs or whether he means at Road America. He says he is just too tempted. This is a fun league, it really is. I thought he was a V8 boy, and there is some crossover now. We've got some of these guys racing V8s, believe it or not.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. And Alex would love this.
I think he would as well. We've seen the challenge between moving from front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive in Stephen Walker and Sam Blees. It is a massive transition, don't get me wrong, but as Wobbly Kneecaps sets a blistering lap, followed by Big Mig, so that won't go down well in the Impulse camp. That'll have to get redressed. But yeah, it's a big jump from TCRs to V8s. But equally, it's a big jump from V8s to TCR, because when you faced off against this group, every race is a challenge. Okay, so where are we?
They're both great, aren't they? They're both outstanding examples of their type. That
Oh,
V8
yeah.
is fantastic, isn't it? You know, so rear-ended. And these are totally front-end, massively touring car, modern front-wheel drive car, and so beautifully modelled that prime examples of both species.
Yeah, and see, Matt Elmore had an ample opportunity there to wipe Wobbly Kneecaps out, earn himself some cash, let it go, pulled over to the side. What is wrong with you? Right, so we're getting into that silly territory again, Alan, where 1 second covers 14 cars.
Yes.
What is going on? That is way close, that, isn't it? That's unbelievable.
I don't mind, but they're just making 220 look easy.
Yes.
And by gum, it's not.
No, not at all. We are going to go on board with somebody. I think we'll be going on board with this one, but I'm going to tell him it's him. No, we'll go on board with this one, shall we? Where is he? Oh, he's at the King. Okay. Right, okay. We're going to go on board here and talk through this lap. Alex on the chat says, let's go racing forces. So this is where you start building your lap here at Canada Corner. And then you fire it through Thunder Valley, which is this series of turns just here, into the last turn on the track, which is turn 14. There's 14 turns on this track. They're not all named. It's typically American track. It has a carousel. It has a... what does it have? It has a sweep. It has a king in true American track fashion. So up and over Road America straight. I'm trying to see if I miss any names off, whether they're on there. Turn 1 is your first destination. It's a huge straight, that. It's all uphill though. and front-wheel drive cars don't do too well uphill. So you've got to be in the right gear and coasting through, carrying speed through turn 1, whereas in turn 2 you're heavy on the brakes, get a bit of curb, and let the curb and the camber take you around this corner, don't run out too far. Out of 3rd gear and up to 4th, this is Moraine's sweep, which goes under this bridge. It's a right-left non-straight, which I think in American terms they count all these little kinks as turns, which is annoying. And then into Moraine Corner, which is turn 5, which should be turn 4, or turn 3 actually. You take a lot of curb, run it right, quite wide, but not too far. Again, you were in 2nd gear there, into 3rd. Stay in, oh no you don't, you drop into 2nd apparently in the Honda. And then fire it through here. This is, can't remember, but this is hurry downs. Sorry?
4th gear.
4th gear through there.
In his pace.
Yeah. And then into turn 8. And then into the carousel. You want to hug the inside here. It's the same in any car, this one. Keep to that inside line. Do not drift to the left. Drifting to the left means certain, if not probable, death. And absolutely definite that you will get overtaken. That is going to be a 1x for wobbly. And then into the kink here, carry all the speed you can. Do not run out wide. Do not even get a toe dipped onto that grass, because it will murder you. You can die on either side of this track very easily. At that point, through Kettle Bottoms here and into Canada Corner, where we started our little run with on board with wobbly. You can take a massive amount of that rumble strip, but no more than that. It's gravel and kitty litter after that, and then back through Thunder Valley. I'm going to keep going with it, because a key point for the second race, folks, because they have to do a mandatory pit stop, because we don't think anybody has managed to fuel save enough to do the race in no stops. That's very wide. And then do this. I think he's listening. Uphill into a blind summit into the pit lane. You can't even see the cones, but you have to get down to pit lane speed at that point. So he's going to park it for us, and probably go again, because he's got time to.
This is nice and straight.
Yeah.
Nice and straight entry to the pits, but that lap is fraught, isn't it? There's so many places where it gets dangerous, but it doesn't look like it is. It's dangerous around the carousel. It's dangerous around off of these corners. Like you say, to get a wheel on the grass, it's a nightmare.
Very much so. And if they're not on a lap now, they never will be, because in 8 seconds they're going to get chinned out of this session. That's what happens in heat. I don't think Alejandro is going to get off the bottom of the table. He's not. He's just got told by iRacing that he's had enough there. So let's talk about round 15, your grid for tonight. Wobbly Kneecaps takes the pole spot on a 2:20.477. 0.04 of a second behind was Miguel, who will go off second tonight. So an Impulse Racing lockout yet again. Sam Blees will go off third for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White, with Gary Craig in fourth. That's a great result, that, for BSTV. Fifth will be Stephen Walker for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White, again, behind his teammate. That'll be good. Spencer McCarthy will go off sixth for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Seventh will be Adam Wright for BSTV. Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Result will go off eighth. Matt Flashy Elmore will go off ninth. 10th will be Rob Sharp for Fiercely Forward. 11th will be Lee Bowden for Safeguard by Result. Jamie Jeffrey will go off 12th for CCR. 13th will be Freddie Van Eekhoven. Got his name on screen this time. Hydro Race Racing Forces. Tony Walker will go off 14th. 15th will be Demis Tigchalar behind his teammate. Jamie Wilson will go off 16th for Team Chimera. Michael Seal will go off 17th for Result. JB Dejoux will go off 18th for BSTV Blue. Fiona will go off 19th for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. Easy for me not to say. 20th will be Ant Woodward for Never Quit Raging. 21st will be Charles Walsh. Matt Flannery will go off 22nd for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. And Alejandro Advani will go off 23rd. And tonight, last, but we know that he is very, very capable as a racer. So let's see how this goes. Have I got a better camera as the lights come on?
Oh, exciting.
For this race? 3, 4, 5 lights, and we should be going green now, and we're away. So
uphill start, Pete.
Yeah, that is about textbook from the two Impulse boys. We're going to look a little bit further back here for some Closer racing 3 wide. We're going into the first turn here by the look of it. Nope, they've sorted themselves out. Or have they? That is a shunt from a Hydra race car.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, and he's not flashing now. He's been nerfed. Nothing to do with Matt Elmore, but he's the one that's suffered as a result of it. As we crowd into turn, what is 3, should be 2, and then fire it off down Moraine Straight. Wow. A bit of a rough and tumble at the beginning there, Alan.
Yes, I'm not surprised because that first corner is just like that. And it just gives you enough, from the start, gives you just enough time to get going fast enough to get you into trouble with the cold tyres.
Yeah.
And of course, then it's tight on that, as you say, turn 2.
Oh, that was a bit bouncy there from Freddie Van Eekhoven. He's the car now on your left. He's the one that ran into the back of Lee Bowden, who then ran into the back of Matt Elmore. I don't think Matt will be too concerned about that. I mean, he's just guest driving tonight, really. And at the front, nobody has changed positions. Oh, yes, they have just happened. Spencer McCarthy has overtaken Stephen Walker in the sister team of Geodesic Racing White. There's all sorts of shenanigans going on just back here. JB and Ant Woodward getting together. Jamie Jeffrey and Carl Hardy sorting themselves out. Demis Titular is the big winner around here at the moment. Up 5 positions from his start. Who was that out wide? Oh, I think it was Rob Sharp. I think it was Rob Sharp in that yellow Elantra further ahead. But doing a great job. He's 9th. And in this company, that is a fierce performance.
Yes, but at the start, because they've gone off like the clappers, haven't they? They've really gone off like the clappers.
They have. JB Dejoux has found the grass. You can see Matt Elmore coming back into picture now. Hopefully he's not got any damage and he can recover that car. Jamie Wilson quite far down the standings at the moment, and Fiona is doing a splendid job here. Already maintaining her start position, I think. 19th.
You've got to get a good exit. Oh
God, what was that? There's all sorts going on at the back here.
Crikey, bouncing off the wall, back onto the track. Goodness.
Yeah, there's more crashing ahead, I think. JB.
And a pit entrance as well. How unfortunate.
No idea what all that was about, but we're about to go back and watch that because that was dramatic. No reason to call a block track, so it was Fiona and somebody getting into a tangle there on the wall.
They were tangled up, weren't they?
Yeah, JB got net code of the century. He was fully like 3 feet away from the other car there. And all those cars are now going to join pit road, I would expect. And we're going to go back to live viewing. So that's what caused that.
Those cars hooked up. I've heard of cars getting hooked up with a net code type thing. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of Solid Air. Apparently, according to iRacing, netcode doesn't exist. But I do know that Solid Air does.
Oh yeah, we've seen plenty of that, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Very unfortunate as well. Everything was going so well.
They were, and that happens. It's a bit more dramatic usually if it's at the sharp end of the field, at the pointy end at the top, because it gathers everybody else together. So quite a few cars involved in that, and 3 or 4 in pit road at the moment. So we'll have to see how that pans out. Nobody to blame, I don't think. Just a racing incident. Oh no, that's going to be. So that is getting wide at the kink there, and that is a bit of a brutal crash, to be fair. We've lost a few cars in this already. So this is Demis Titular. He's already sliding into the kink, cold tyres, and then he was just a passenger, and then managed to gather up whoever that was on a massive hit. There's no sorting that out. You're not going to be able to avoid it. Again, racing incident.
Yes.
Don't see that there's anybody done anything bad there. It's just somebody's lost control of the car and then collected a bunch of other people at the same
classic
time.
Cold tyre kind of spin, wasn't it? Just using the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and and that was had but very unfortunate consequences because of that.
Oh, massively, massively.
So, yeah.
So, something
Yeah.
that I don't understand is why Gary Craig is suddenly behind Rob Sharp, so I'm going to have to go and find that. I'm
But
looking...
Rob showed us some really good pace, didn't he, last week? So last
He
week he did
really did,
well.
yeah. So, Gary...
And,
something happened to Stephen Walker.
yeah. Oh,
There's a few
Miguel
cars
car.
I consider out of position at the minute.
Yes, no, it's a bit confusing.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Right, this may well be what we need to see. So let me see what's going on here. Right, so that's Stephen.
Ooh.
Gary kind of drove through his car. And then Adam... Oh, right, okay. I think Gary tried to turn Stephen back round again. So that was Adam getting in between two cars. And they were 3 wide out of Canada Corner. And then Stephen's trying to find where the track is. And then he finds it and gets going. Right, okay. So that's the...
oh, crikey.
I know, that was close as well. Well, it's all kicking off here, Alan.
And yes, we're getting a lot of scrap metal. Obviously, I got the concession, Pete, honestly.
Yeah, too right. So
Those
Fiona...
mechanics are very busy in the pits at the moment. Fiona's back on the track, so that's a good thing to see.
Yeah, so far we've had, in the non-pit stop race, 6 cars pit. Demis, Tony, Fiona, JB, Matt Flannery, and Alejandro Advani, who's, I think... Oh, no, he's coming back out now. That's good. So there's quite a few cars been into pit road. I think there's others hosting a significant amount of damage, I would say. Gary Craig has only had a bit of a rub, really, so I don't think he's got any bent panels. He's certainly going to get a decent draft here. I don't think Rob Sharp's draft off Adam Wright is going to be nearly as good. But that's what shuffled all these cars about, as Wobbly puts in the fastest lap of the race with Noto at the front.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And this just shows you how important it is getting that last corner onto that uphill section. You've got to get that right, otherwise you're going to lose time. And if you don't get it right, you get gobbled up by the chap behind you in your toe.
Yes. And Alex on the chat says, oh well, all the clean racing of the season was compensated with all the chaos this race. I'm sympathetic to everyone, really, because it all looked like cold tyre incidents. Just people losing control under cold tyres. Let's hope the feature race is a bit more calm. No less frantic, but let's hope it's less crashy.
Yes, well, in general, they tend to be settled down by the second race. And I think they've actually just been very unfortunate. There's been really a lot of consequence for very small incidents.
Yes.
Things that would only just involve the 2 cars, if there's 2 cars involved, or even just 1 car. But, one car losing it has now had incidents where 3 or 4 cars have been involved. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
it was early in the race as well, of course. So we've got the cold tyre element, and everybody's very bunched together because the lap times are so incredibly close.
Yeah, absolutely right. And Alex says, yeah, nothing dirty in any of it, just unfortunate. And it speaks highly of the league that we've had that happen just once in 15 races. Let's hope it's not going to affect the second of our races tonight in the same way. As Carl Hardy crawls up behind Jamie Jeffrey significantly. So Wobbly at the front here has got a 1.3 second lead over his own teammate of Miguel, Big Mig, and then you can see the gap to Sam Blees, that's 1.25 seconds, and then Spencer just comes and appears over the hill there, 1.8 seconds behind him, and then there's a big gap now back to this little group of 3, and then in the distance there you can see Carl Hardy with Jamie Jeffrey taking a massively defensive line. Now, the outside line here at Road America can work for you, but you've got to be very, very careful what you do.
Yeah.
Jamie has got the optimal line, of course, on the inside, and he's made that work for himself. So,
Yeah, it's very easy to get lost on the left-hand side there, isn't it, Pete? You can find the wall.
Yeah, it really is. You can find the wall very easily. You're absolutely right. Jamie Wilson, I thought was involved in some of the stuff early on. Maybe I was clearly wrong. I think it was probably a council paint as opposed to the Chimera paint. And he's found Ant Woodward. Now, Ant Woodward needs a mention. A very, very honourable one, because he's up 7 positions after all the chaos.
And he got a clout himself, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He's just being put back into a 6 positions gained situation. As that's a lovely overtake from Jamie Wilson. And look who's behind them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, flashy.
Well, it's good to see.
Mannering. Yeah,
he's got some pace. Clearly, he's got pace. He's running with very good drivers here, so he's found his touch straight away, hasn't he? I wonder how much practice he's been putting in.
I don't know. It seemed very last minute to me. So maybe not as much as he probably wanted.
Probably very little. Yeah, but very experienced driver of this car as well, and very familiar with the league. He'll be just like putting on a comfortable old slipper.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then Freddie, who was involved right at the very start in one of the incidents, he's found Michael Seal on track.
Interesting, because, Michael's new back to the league, but we know he's got pace, and Freddie we know is rapid, so an interesting double header here. We don't quite know who would come out top in this one.
No, and if we look at the gains on the screen there, we can see that Michael Seal is up 6 positions from the start, as is Ant Woodward now. He was up 7, and Rob Sharp is doing a brilliant job. He's up 5 and in 5th place. Don't forget, we reversed the top 12, and at the moment, Mr. Van Eekhoven is currently in that place. He's about to put Michael Seal in it, I think, as we go chopper can.
Oh, he's got the run there beautifully.
That's a lovely overtake, actually, from Freddie Van Eekhoven. Very nice. I'll expect a Let's Go Racing Forces on the chat, because Alex would be remiss if he didn't do that.
I think Michael was being very cautious there as well.
Yeah, I think so. Given the fact that so many races are now like a lap down potentially, well, not actually. Everybody's on lead lap apart from JB, who has not rejoined. I don't know whether he's been in the pits twice. He's been in the pits twice. So yeah, there we go. Let's go, Frederick, and Racing Forces.
They need to sort this out before they get to this bend, because my word, they don't want to be doing right around there.
Yep. So that's been reversed. But they're going to love this. This is
exactly... God, no, this will be very exciting.
Yeah, too right.
This is a great track for this kind of scratchy racing, It's lovely. These bends just lure you in. You want to hurl the car around. The front-wheel drive nature of the car just loves this track. It just wants to gobble these corners up and hurl you into it. And, it's absolutely delicious.
So, we've had a couple of overtakes back here with Adam Wright and Rob Sharp. This one is... Adam trying to get round the outside just before the carousel there. That didn't work. Oh no, it's not the carousel, that's into Moraine Corner. So we're heading towards carousel now. So there's a bit of exchanging of positions going on between these two.
Those corners are brilliant. No lifting off. You can go around them incredibly quickly. You've got to keep your pace up. You don't want to be using the brakes on this circuit if you can avoid it.
No, you want to be carrying whatever speed you've currently got through all the corners.
Through there as well. Very inviting walls on both sides.
So, Flashy just overtook Ant Woodward as well. Did we see this? I can't remember. I don't think we did. So this is on Road America Straight. Up and over the brow of the hill. You can't see it here, but it's quite steep where they're racing at the minute. It flattens out where they are now. And he's done that before the corner, to be fair. That's
beautiful,
lovely.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's very nice.
Comfortably on the brakes then as well, yeah. Very nice. But, that's clearly Matt's in fine fettle, because it's not easy to get past it. Our man there, just, Ant's a very good driver, and, it's not easy to get by him, so you can see that Matt's in fine fettle.
Yeah, and this is still going on, Alan. This is Michael Seal still, and Freddie.
I had a feeling about these two. They're both, they're both competitive drivers, so they're going to bring out the best in each other.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of close racing at the minute. Ooh, crikey, there's 0.2 of a second here between two of these guys, Jamie and Flashy. There's battles everywhere at the moment, actually. So there's these two, the three in the back there. Who's that? Sorry, got the wrong camera. That is Demis and Tony Walker, very close together. They were closer a moment ago. And then, of course, this battle, which is the furthest forward of the close battles. Beyond these two, there's 7 seconds, believe it or not, already to Spencer, who's chasing down Sam Blees.
Well, they've got a gap, haven't they? You know, and
That's a massive gap. It's huge.
yeah, well, they're chasing after Wobbly, who's, you know, him, Big Mick. Look at the pace they've got them. Crikey.
Yeah.
They're both in the 220s. You don't often see the Geo guys having to really fight just to stay with the leading people, and yeah, they've got their hands full and they've worked cut out. This is great racing for them, and it must be a breath of fresh air to have people to really compete with, another team to really compete with.
Yeah. So, on board in our Honda, let's see if Alex is right on there, the speed of the Honda. Behind the Elantra, it's absolutely... Well, it's not munching away at the gap, really, is it? No, this isn't a Honda. What am I on about? This
No,
is
Honda in front. Is it?
Hang on, that's an Elantra in front. What are we on board with here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
Honda.
idea.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, I was right. I think I've gone mad.
Well, they're all. I don't think there's much in the performance of these cars now.
It depends on the track, I think. Some of them were saying the Honda really suffered at some of the tracks where you can stretch the legs of the car.
Yeah, you say that, but then there's always a couple of out of place ones that make me think, well.
Adam gave Rob Sharp a bit of a helping hand round that corner. I thought he wasn't going fast enough.
That's kind of affectionate.
Affectionate, yeah, a little
Rob.
love tap, a little caress here and there. It's not going to do his radiator any good if he does that, but looks like maybe Freddie has some damage, says Alex. He definitely does have damage. The front of that Audi is fully caved in, and the bonnet's got a little bit of a snarl to it on its as you're looking at it on the right hand side. It's all creased up. Definitely had some attention right at the start of the race, that one. Right, let's go back to one of the other closer battles, which is this one. This is Gary and Adam trying to get on the top of Rob Sharp here, but not managing it right now.
Rob's got fantastic pace.
He has.
It looks like Michael maybe was just getting ahead with Freddie.
I think this is going to come to a head here. This is Tony Walker chasing down Demis Tigchalar. He's not got the toe that I expected him to have on that straight, to be honest. I thought he'd make more of that. Nice corner, though, from Tony Walker. That was lovely. Now he's got a bit of a run, but there's nowhere to go, is there, Alan?
Well, it's short. We've got a short sequence here. There's not really much room. You can get by if the blue ashes is breaking.
No.
But otherwise, you're ready to the carousel, and a good exit from there will serve you well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's dropped off the back of that there. Oh, what's this? Why is Jamie Wilson in the pits? He's doing a driver's shame.
No.
He's doing a...
Yeah,
No, he's not. No, he's not.
No, it's our...
That's odd.
Yes.
He's got revs up, so he's having a splash and dash here, because we've only got 10 seconds to go. I think this is going to be last lap territory, as Big Mig and Wobbly, not in that order.
Oh, my word, he must have been just half a litre short.
I think he was. He has now rejoined the track, so He's going to make it round to finish, but he's going to have dropped quite a few positions along the route there.
Oh, jolly unlucky, but
Yeah.
that's interesting because he will have probably fueled the same as everybody else. So everybody else must be tight as well because they were all talking about fueling, aren't they?
Yeah, there's something going on back here as well. So Sam Blease is dropping time massively to Spencer. I don't know whether there's a multi-21 coming, I doubt it. But I think very much so that Wobbly is about to take the checker. His teammate Miguel is closing in on him. I don't know whether there's going to be a series of multi-21s here. I doubt it, but you never know. You never know.
I would doubt it as well.
Yeah, he's too far away at the minute for a proper overtake. So let's see what happens as they go up the hill here. A bit of weaving from Wobbly going up the hill. And a little bit from Big Mig as well. We can only hope that Wobbly loses control of the car, but that's not the case.
Oh, it's making me feel nauseous.
Yeah, the only time that it's acceptable to flash your lights as Gary Craig gets a run on Adam right at the very end.
Crikey, I hope the who's going to win this one.
Well, I think that may have been a multi-21 to make sure that Gary got the points, because that was the case the other day. Oh, that was close with Jamie Jeffrey there and Stephen Walker. Jamie Jeffrey got the jump on Stephen over the line.
Did he really?
He did.
Well done, Jamie.
Yeah, that was a good effort. Don't know whether Stephen Walker ran out of fuel or not. I don't know. Flashy over the line, but not flashing, which is odd. This is still going on.
Not easy to get the jump on Stephen.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's been fuel has been a bit of an issue then.
You missed on reverse pole by 0.023. Who's he talking to? This is Alex on the chat. Who did finish 12? Oh, Freddie Van Eekhoven will be the pole man for the second race.
Yeah, Matt did it. Look at that, missed it by 0.023. That was the gap.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't close enough, honestly. It's slacking off there.
Yeah. And yeah, you're absolutely right, and as is Alex. Flashy missed out on reverse pole to Freddie by 0.023 of a second. Absolutely as close as you like. Look at Tony Walker going here. There could have been something there for Tony Walker, but Demis stays ahead and maintains 18th position. Still got some running on the track. Fiona is one of them.
Good racing for them as well. Yeah, they had a good result, but good racing for the pair of them. And hello, come on, Fee.
Yeah, Fee
Where's
over the
Mr.
line.
Flannery then? Where's Mr. Flannery now?
Flannery
He's
is.
back.
Yeah, I mean it's a big track, so there's quite a lot of time gaps in between the cars.
Yeah, but he's been doing 222, so.
I know, yeah. He's well out of position though. He got taken out early on and has been through pit road and done damage repairs and all sorts. So, wow, that was an intense race for multiple different reasons. So let's
we
go
had
through
we had a lot of carnage early on, didn't we? That put people out of place. So that's interesting.
Well, you get this in leagues, and it certainly shuffles the numbers and gives other people a shot at getting some points. So let's have a look at what happened. So Wobbly, on a flag-to-flag victory, won by 0.3 seconds for Impulse Racing over his own teammate, Big Mig, Miguel Freitas. Sam Blease finished third for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White. There's a pretty big gap, to be fair, between him and Miguel, 4 seconds. And then Spencer, who was only half a second behind eventually, finished fourth for the sister team, Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. But Rob Sharp finished in 5th place for Fiercely Forward. What a great result. And a massive points haul there for Rob. Gary Craig finished 6th on I think what was a multi-21 with Adam Wright, who finished 7th. Carl Hardy finished 8th for Safeguard, with Jamie Jeffrey for CCR finishing 9th. Big grid this, takes me ages. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Stephen Walker finished 10th for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White. Result Clothing's Michael Seal finished at 11th, with Freddie Van Eekhoven in 12th for Hydro Race Racing Forces. Flashy Matt Elmore finished in 13th. Ant Woodward finished 14th for Never Quit Racing. Charles Walsh finished 15th. 16th was Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera after an impromptu splash and dash. 17th was Lee Bowden for Safeguard by Result. Demis Tigchalar was 18th for Hydra Race Racing Forces, with Tony Walker in 19th. Fiona Siddons finished 20th for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. 21st was Matt Flannery for Hydra Race Geodesic Racing. Alejandro Advani finished 22nd, and JB Dijou finished 23rd and last, 5 laps down for BSTV Esports Blue after 2 visits to the pit road. Well, lots and lots of drama there. Lots and lots of drama.
Bit of one misfortune for JB. But he'll deal with that, of course, because he's that kind of a man. But yeah, unfortunate to see him in the pits and struggling.
It's certainly going to toss up some of the lower ranking positions, isn't it, in the league? There's quite a few got taken out in the first of those incidents, and then quite a few more in the second at the kink.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of collateral, wasn't there?
Yeah, very much. So, and again, like we said with the guys on the chat, there was nothing nefarious in it. It was literally racing incidents all the way.
Honestly, if I saw something nefarious, Pete, I would be utterly shocked.
Yeah,
it's something I've watched. How many hours do you watch? I mean, I can't be much less than you with this league. And honestly, it's I've never seen anything with once in 4 years.
Yeah, very rare you get any pile-ups in this league.
You don't see anything nefarious, is what I'm saying. You don't see anybody do a malicious.
No.
You don't.
Not got Max Verstappen racing in the league, have we? So,
it's such a credit to everybody.
Absolutely. We usually get a few people doing some pit stop practice in this 5 minutes of warm up in between, or at least some launch practice if they got it slightly wrong the first time round. Pit lane here, not a massive challenge. It is fairly straightforward. You come off the last turn, you make your way to the right, and go up the very, very steep hill, which does assist your deceleration into pit road. It's hard to see the cones for the speed limit, but other than that, it's fairly straightforward. This track made famous in BSTV by Bill Switzer, who crashed his car, and I infamously said, "Where's Bill gone?" And Clyde, as he was passing the pit, said, Bill's in pit lane burning, having a barbecue, I think, hence the name Barbecue Bill Switzer. Legendary track for BSTV for that reason. Let's just follow Lee Bowden around this last bit of the lap here, because in 10 seconds he's going to get beaten out anyway. You can't really do much around this track in 5 minutes, can you, Alan? Because the track's so long. He's in fact going to pull up.
You can enjoy yourself. There's plenty of time to enjoy yourself in 5 minutes, because it's a beautiful place to drive around.
It's lovely, isn't it? It just flows nicely.
It's this testing bits, isn't it? The thing is, it's testing. The kink and the carousel. There's plenty of places where you can get it wrong, but that's just part of the charm. Because when you get it right, it's a real sense of achievement when you nail the lap.
It is. All right, names only, because I don't have time. So Freddie Van Eekhoven off first. Michael Seal is next to him on the front row. Stephen Walker and Jamie Jeffrey on the second row. Carl Hardy and Adam Wright, third row. Gary Craig and Rob Sharp off on the fourth row. And Spencer McCarthy and Sam Blease off on the fifth. Miguel and Wobbly, first and second, or second and first respectively, from the first race, on the sixth row. So let's, I can't find my little, there we go. Then we've got Flashy and Ant Woodward in 13th and 14th. I'm not going to get through it because they're going now. So everybody else fulfills the remaining positions as we watch this field pull our way. So lovely start there from Stephen Walker. Very nice. Good launch. Gary Craig is crawling all over Cal Hardy there, desperate to get through. I'll try and find where all the close racing is. Well, everywhere. Okay, that's not helped me at all as a cameraman. Right, they've sorted themselves out.
Close racing, Pete.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So here we go, 2x2, and Woodward very late on the brakes, nicely done. But through a bit of smoke from the cars in front. That's somebody out wide. It's Carl Hardy. Your captain is out in a different track.
It's so easily done there.
It is. It is. So we need to keep an eye on the front this time because
hit the wall, so no damage. Yeah.
Oh, Michael Seal! What a good bit of driving from Michael Seal. He knew he'd lost control and he bailed the safe way. So hats off to him. What a great bit of driving. Well done, that man.
Yeah. Well done, Michael.
Sam Blease not backward in coming forward.
It just shows you Hardy was trying as well. You know, good position on the grid, so really trying hard to maintain that position at the grid. Oh, goodness me.
Beautiful. So many cars, it's beautiful.
And Kevin, this is the feature race that, you know, with plenty of time to calm down.
You wouldn't believe it, would you? That is Charles Walsh on a bit of an excursion there and about to get swamped potentially. We're going to go back to this because Adam Wright is about to try and overtake Jamie Jeffrey. He's not going to do it in the kink though. Pure death follows you in the kink if you try anything there. Oh, that's an impulse car.
Yeah.
I don't know which one. Oh my word. Right, so. Oh dear. Right. Okay. I'm gonna have to do something I don't normally do, folks. And I'm gonna have to throw it a yellow.
Oh goodness.
Oops.
The yellow flag is out.
Right, we are cautioning that because that was a fully blocked track. So, Road America is a very dramatic place to be, Alan.
Yes, Pete. Well, that was came out of nowhere. All that, a barrage of flying metal in all directions at once. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, apologies to everybody viewing for me having to control iRacing in the middle of a broadcast, but. Yeah, that was pretty very smashy, that was. Right, let's get everybody back under control. Let's have a look at where that all started, because I fear it started around, I'm trying to find it at the moment. So it was way before that. Alright, here it is. I think this is it. It might not be, it might be something else. Oh, that's the aftermath. That was blue on blue of unbelievable proportions.
Oh, and they were going so fast as well. It was absolutely... Oh, dear.
Right, let's see if it is more likely this.
Will this car drive?
I don't know. Let's see. So, right, here we go. So we're out round the carousel at the moment. I think that's what. Oh no, we're on with Miguel. He's the most forward of the two impulse cars. Gets out on the grass, gets really out of shape, and then probably cold tyres now. He's probably cooled his left side. He has. He's lost it, and Wobbly does his best. Oh, that is a big hit. Yeah, that's a big hit. That's going to knock your fillings out at least. And then it all concertina up. That's a block track right there. There's no way through. So, yeah. Whew, good grief.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame. He very nearly controlled the car, did Miguel. That was really so nearly controlled the car. But
right then, we're going to have...
Wobbly was there.
Right, so pace cars caught the leader, who is, at the moment, Freddie Van Eekhoven, so he's getting points for leading laps. Right, where's everybody else? Stephen Walker is the car behind him. I might as well have a look at some of these wonderful paint jobs, Alan, while we do this.
Yeah, well, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Jamie Jeffrey is car number 3 in that queue, with Adam Wright just behind. Let's get the old track map up and then you can see where everybody's at. Some cars still in pit road. They should be on fast repairs. unless they towed, some of them would have been in such a state that they couldn't actually
would have been
get round.
towed.
Yeah. I know that Ant Woodward's car took a massive amount of damage.
Wow,
this
that
is
was some contact, wasn't it? You
It
could
really
feel that,
was,
Mike,
yeah.
honestly. Oh,
trying to see
terribly
where
quick.
everybody
That
is.
was flying. It's right, I mean, it's the fastest part of the circuit, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, this is going to be potentially good news for everybody that's not impulse racing, if you take my point, because there's good points on offer for a lot of other teams, depending on who can get back and when. So Fiona is about as far up a field as I think she's been in this league.
Okay.
13th at the minute.
Track.
Yeah.
Let's hope they can get back on. If we can close up and get back on, that would be good.
Yeah, it will. I don't know. I think we'll only probably do this lap. Oh, right, the lights are already out on the pace car. So we will go racing this next lap. So let's make sure that that's the case. Oh, I'm on the wrong car. Yeah, no lights on the pace car, so we will go racing at the end of this touring lap. You can see there's a few cars making their way around now to join the back of the queue. I think the last one in line is going to be Ant Woodward. I'm not sure where JB is. Where's JB? I think JB's got out of the car. I think he's had a bad day. Where's Ant Woodward?
Oh.
Making his way round. I don't think anybody lost a lap fully because it's such a big track. I don't know that Ant Woodward will make it round in time to catch up with the rest of the field. And possibly not Charles Walsh either, but we'll see.
That's him making it. Oh, Charles is in trouble again.
He's in a rush to get round, you see, so
Yes.
I can understand that happening as these guys come down Moraine. Freddie is trying to hide in the pace car, which is a feature of iRacing. You can hide your car inside the pace car.
If only nobody, Fred.
Yeah,
He's gone in front of the pace car.
he has.
He's going to smack bottom if he's not careful.
How different?
Policeman will waggle his finger at you.
Yeah, how different are each car in terms of fuel saving? Is that a thing? I don't think it is, because in iRacing it's about how much your potentiometer is like pushed forward for the gas. Fuel saving's a bit of a skill in that it's all about coasting and not pressing your foot down as far on the gas pedal. It's certainly not about how much you would fuel save in the real world in terms of how much gas you're putting in. Yeah.
We have some very people who are very skilled at it, of course.
Oh yeah.
It's a really it's a tactic and a strategy that everybody should have access to. Everybody should be able to think in those terms, because there's no doubt it comes up in any racing season. If you've got that ability just to save a little bit of fuel, it can make a difference. If you're in a pit stop race, that's for sure.
Yeah. Shall we see who's got the fastest lap?
3 minutes 44.
Nobody has got a fastest lap according to SDK at the minute. So mustn't have got any full laps done without caution. So nobody got over the line on that first lap before the caution flag came out. Miguel has just joined the very back of this queue behind Matt Elmore there.
Is Ant still chasing?
Ant is, he's a long way back round the track. I think Charles is going to join the queue, but we are about to lose the pace car. Now, what will Freddie do in terms of a tactic here, leading them round to the start? Is he going to stack them up?
No.
He's approaching last corner. Oh, he's bound through the last corner. And now he's gone. Right, he's gone.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to follow him up the big hill.
Yeah.
Green, green, green.
Spencer has popped out from behind Gary, and they are green again now. So,
He
Spencer's
did that
trying
very
to
well,
get
didn't he? He
alongside.
did that very
Yeah.
well. He got away nice and clean, and everybody spread out very nicely behind him.
Yeah, that was a lovely overtake from Spencer. Hopefully everybody maintains their... careful, boys. You remember what happened last time? As Miguel and Wobbly try and sort themselves out here. Charles Walsh did get back to the end of the queue, but it looks like Ant Woodward is still a quarter of a lap behind or so. Here we go. This is a pass, or an attempt at a pass for the lead. Ant Woodward currently has the fastest lap, funnily enough. And up the hill we go underneath that bridge into turn 6. Sorry, go on.
Freddie, well, I don't think Freddie's been actually led the race before, has he?
Do you know what? I'm not sure. I think he may have done odd laps, and I think Demis definitely has, because he was...
Demis did.
Yeah, reverse pole, but maybe not, Freddie. Maybe you're right, yeah. As everybody comes streaming through, we are a quarter of the way through this race, most of it under caution. So apologies if people disagree with the caution flag, sorry. But to me, that was a block track, and it was only fair to allow everybody the good grace to race with a fixed car again. That's a sketchy overtake through the kink. You don't really want to be doing that there too much. But Wobbly and Miguel on a mission to get to the front again.
That kink's a dangerous place in that in the
Absolutely
action,
lethal.
you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it bodes well for Lee Bowden to note that they're willing to overtake him there because he is a very safe driver. But either way, it's a risky proposition to overtake anybody at the kink.
Absolutely. Because, you know, I often get a little wobble there. You only got to get it slightly wrong, and you've got to make a counter steer to get it back.
Yeah, you do. Right, so this is getting a bit tastier back here.
Ooh, that's tight.
It was tight. I've had to leave it because there was overtakes going on further back as well. Oh, it's still tight here. Spencer McCarthy trying to do a number on Adam, and he's got him here at turn, what is 3, should be 2. Oh, and Adam bailed on that before he got contact, I think. Oh, he's just rubbed the wall. That won't be too bad, and he can rejoin safely, so that's fine. He got spooked. He tried to turn, and he couldn't. Yeah.
Is that Sam?
It's Sam Blees, yeah, chasing Spencer. Now, Spencer has let 2 cars go here. Is he trying to redress a position? Not sure. Maybe there was contact after all. We'll have a look at that in a second. Let's have a look at it. No, we won't have a look at it now. As Spencer goes through, does he, on Michael Steele?
Oh.
There's a lot of shuffling ahead, but they've not actually changed any positions. Actually, they did, because I think Gary got past somebody there
That's
earlier.
that taking that safety car going has been like taking the top off a pop bottle. It's
Yes.
boom.
Yeah, it really is.
Sam's in the Sam's got the fastest lap at the moment, and
Yeah.
so it's making his intent fairly clear, to be honest.
Yeah, Rob Sharp is giving him quite a lot of pressure now. He's fast, isn't he, Rob Sharp? Good grief.
I think it certainly is.
Yeah, what a battle, says Alex Savillano.
Was that Jamie? Jamie was on the grass.
He was. Adam making his way back through after. He's now much delayed, isn't he? So let's see how that transpires.
Right. He's got plenty of time to get it back. This is, I mean, so much has happened, but it's still early days.
Yeah. Alex says Spencer lost control for a short moment there. I don't know that he ever loses control. I think it's just controlled all the time from him. Probably got that very wrong. He's having a good look at Carl Hardy here, but I don't think anything's going to happen because Carl Hardy's now got a run. Controlled chaos. Yeah, let's call it controlled chaos, Alex. And Miguel is he pushing Wobbly along? Does Wobbly need that much help? I'm not sure. Tony Walker had a little excursion just there and let Adam through, or one of those two things is true. Let's have a quick look at that again. Very quick. Make sure there was nothing naughty in this. Adam's miles back here. That can only suggest that Tony ran it wide himself, which he did. Yeah. So nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here.
Tony's been driving well. He drove well last week as well. He's doing a fine job.
Yeah, what a time to rejoin. That's Jamie on Tony Walker, and that looks like it could be a nice overtake as Sam Blease overtakes Jamie Jeffrey. So there's lots of Jamie action going on. Why do I get the feeling that Jamie Jeffrey and Jamie Wilson are going to be racing each other before the end of this race? They seem to magnetise towards one another. Positions being swapped in many places. Spencer McCarthy closing in on Gary now.
Oh, that's interesting. Michael is got our friend Mr. Sharp behind him, and he's that's interesting because Mr. Sharp is very quick. There's a little bit of a gap there. Let's see if he closes that gap.
Yeah, interestingly, I must have just missed it, or I missed it a while back. I'm going to go and try and find it because it's quite a pivotal move. I have found it now. I don't think anybody's going to do anything immediately, so we'll go and have a quick look at this. This is for the lead of the race, and it was into Moraine corner at the end of Moraine sweep. So this is Stephen Walker on Freddie Van Eekhoven. Nice overtake done before the corner entry and consolidated up the hill. Very nicely done. Although it does look like there was a fight back at one point. In fact, there was.
That is a fight back.
Yeah, so that wasn't dusted at that point.
That was great defending by Freddie.
It really was. And then the overtake must have been later on, which I've not got a record of, which is bizarre. But we're going to go back to the start and... back to the start, go live again. Why would is this the earliest you can pit? It must be.
That's 7.
So this is Wobbly on his second pit stop of the day, but this is the scheduled one for fuel. Now, do you think, Alan, with the delay that we had under caution, that these cars can now run this race without requiring a stop if they fuel saved it a bit? Is that possible?
I think maybe it's physically possible, but the psychological stress and the worry and the savage effect on your car's performance, I don't think there's a lot of room for fuel saving the way these cars are going.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this in the hands of Alex Lado. Alex, can you figure out if it's possible to now complete the race without a stop?
Can't see it.
Or is Fiona does a number here on Charles? Or is this Charles overtaking Fiona? Not sure, but they're side by side into Hurry Downs.
Oh, they'll be enjoying themselves.
Yeah, Fiona's got the better of Charles on this occasion. Right, at the front, Gary Craig has worked himself into 3rd place. He's got Freddie in front of him now.
Well, we know that Freddie's full of fight.
Yes, we do. Oh, we're going to have to go and look at this because this group of 4 here are getting it on. That was Demis Tigchalar stepping out. Is that who is that? Oh, it's Alejandro Advani that he's just put behind him. And Alejandro has now got to fight off the affections of Matt Flannery, who's in that Geo car, and then Flashy.
Yeah, it's fast company, Alejandro.
Yeah. Right, we're going to have to go up top because Gary is putting a move on Freddie. I mean, when it's not in the tow, that Audi is faster than the velocity. You can see it there. It was crawling. Oh, that's a murder. That is a murder. That's who was that? Was that Spencer? I think it was. That may end up at the officials' door, that one.
Oh,
Can't believe that Gary will be happy about that.
it cost him a few places, but not.
It really did. Like, but
yeah.
super valuable places given where he is in the championship.
Yeah, the points count. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt.
Oh, it was a fairly big hit in the end. It looked like nothing initially, but there was nothing that Veloster could do to maintain adhesion, and he's sailed it.
That's 3 places, 4 places.
More. He's lost 5 places in that. And Spencer, where is Spencer now? Has he redressed the position? No. Oh, hang on, we're not live. That's why. Spencer's given the place back, believe it or not.
Oh, I can well believe it. He would be chagrined to have done that.
Unbelievable sportsmanship. Spencer has given the place back. Well done, that man.
Yeah, I can well believe it. Honestly, it's the sign of this league. We see this extraordinary gestures by the drivers towards each other. And respect.
You can only salute that. You can only salute it. It's just brilliant.
You don't see this kind of respect between the drivers in most leagues. We've both been around enough to know that isn't the general standard behaviour in leagues. You're looking to get a thank you or a please.
Yeah.
Never mind giving up lots of places. And, yeah.
Right.
That's
So.
Dr. Spencer.
Yeah. I doff my hat to him. He's brilliant. Wobbly, first car to have pitted, is now putting good sector times on the board. He's not the fastest car on track. There are other cars that have been to pit road. Flashy is one of them, but he's been in a few times now. Just into pit road is Tony Walker, who started off quite high up the field.
Yeah, his brother's leading the race, and Stephen were making hay. He won't miss a chance like this. He'll be going like the clappers.
No, Miguel Freitas is currently the fastest car on track, and he's at the back of that massive queue behind. I'm going to have to put the battle box up because I think it'll be massive. It is. So the fight for second place goes back to 11th. Unbelievable, brilliant for us as viewers. Probably quite tense for everybody else.
Oh, look at the names there.
Yeah. Any one of them could win. But at the minute, it's Stephen Walker that's running away. He really is running away. 3.5 seconds is his lead. Both impulse cars.
You put Stephen at the front of a race like this, he will go, and he will go. Because
yes.
He never misses a chance if there's one presented. And this is his chance to take this race. If he can do well here or go into the pits, if he can just make that little bit of a gap, you know what he's like.
Yeah, so Alex has no clue whether you can run this to the end or not, given the fact that we were under caution. Miguel Freitas at the back of this queue is about to put a lot of pressure on Jamie of the Wilson variety. That's David Johansson on the chat. A lot will come down to the pit stop.
Jamie's making this hard for him. He's not giving this place up.
And rightly so. He shouldn't just pull over and lay down. As the group in front are hot at it. That's Michael Seal, Gary, Craig and Spencer. Obviously Gary, Craig and Spencer are now delayed because of previous. I don't know that Gary's not got damage or just super hot tyres. Maybe we'll find out in the intermission. He's gone to pit road actually. So I doubt you can fuel save this race at all, given that Gary's now entered pit road.
I don't know. He can fuel save. It's been so hectic, and the pace has just been so high. And I don't think that's going to change.
No, Miguel has now done that move on Jamie Wilson. Be interesting to see where Gary comes out in relation to Wobbly. Gary's stationary in his box and Wobbly's just coming up the hill now. So maybe I will get criticised for throwing a caution at this race. if the protagonist that caused it ends up winning it. Let's see.
No, I think it was absolutely the right decision, Pete.
Well, yeah. If I'd not done, there'd have been just as much of a query thrown at it. So let's see what happens. You know, I've got broad shoulders. So Gary Craig has come out behind Tony Walker and behind Wobbly, who's a fair way ahead of him now. Let's see if Stephen Walker, once he pits, can win this race after all. Maybe Freddie will get his podium position, like Alex is hoping for. We shall have to see.
Yes. But of course, if you hadn't have pulled the safety car off, these cars wouldn't be on the track now.
Absolutely right, yeah. Let's hope that at least there's some decent racing, which it already has done, to be fair. So.
We've already had plenty of decent racing.
Yeah.
I think the decision was one justified. It brought the race back together and gave us rescued what was getting to be very scrappy and disorganised affair.
Whoa, Rob Sharp! That was late braking of a magnitude I can only dream of. He nearly got it done as well, but it was a bit much even for him. And now he's under a lot of pressure from Adam Wright as a result of that.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking what, he must, and I was thinking the thing about Mark, they must think all their Christmases have come at once to land in the middle of this thing.
Yeah.
Because I just see that, look at the racing they're getting.
I know.
People must think, wow, because, you just, fantastic racing. Served up, hot and tasty.
So Spencer on Michael Seal there. He's probably going to get this done. Oh, he's already ahead. Michael let him go in the end there. Probably a sensible choice. Right, back to the ones that have pitted. So Wobbly is the top car. Gary is the third car in the equation, I think. I think Tony Walker may have to pit again. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced he will actually. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
The people that had damage before wouldn't have managed to take fuel, would they? It would have been too early.
No, it'd have been a thimble full at most, really. So.
They wouldn't have bothered, so no. You're right. They're still in the sequence for the pit stops.
Yep. It's always dicey with iRacing though when you throw a yellow, because sometimes on a certain length of track it can give the advantage back to the people that crashed, because they can fill up while they get their fast repairs, etc., and get an advantage. So hopefully that's not the case.
But this is a big track. The cars are incredibly. Normally we get a bit of spread. And every 40 minutes, and on a big circuit, we get a bit of spread. This bugger all spread tonight.
I know, yeah. we're a good 25 minutes in after the yellows resolved themselves out, and everybody's still racing like it's lap 2 or 3. It's crazy. They're all together still. At the back of that queue there, you can see Miguel Freitas behind Michael Seal. I don't know why Jamie Wilson's dropped back so far so fast, but we'll find out later, I'm sure. Maybe the Elantra's just a tough car around this track to handle it. Rob Sharp has got through on... oh no, he hasn't got shit through.
Yeah, he got past...
He got through, yeah.
Mr. Wright is... he's going in the pit, so...
Yeah, followed by Miguel, right.
And so Miguel.
This should start balancing things out here.
So, but Stephen still will be waiting till it's fumes, won't he?
Yes.
Lee Bowden's doing very well. He's in 7th. And he's got to pit yet, presumably.
Yeah, he's up 10 places, but there's a lot of cars that have donated positions to him. Samblee's similar, up 7, but there's cars donated positions. We'll have to see what happens with all these cars that are now pitting, and where it turns out that Wobbly comes out. So Wobbly is going to come out ahead of his own teammate, but not by much, and then Adam Wright behind him. So I think there's some racing, some significant racing still to be done here. We'll have to see how it all pans out.
Oh, goodness me, absolutely. These drivers are still full of racing. This track just lures people into a racing frame of mind no matter what. And these guys are motivated.
They really are. Spencer McCarthy has literally just popped a move on Rob Sharp, down Moraine Sweep and then into Moraine Corner. He's got the optimal side of the track here, and he's done it he's been given it before the corner, which is always helpful, I guess, for both parties when there's an overspeed situation.
It's a tricky little corner as well. Very easy to get on the sand on the right hand side if you're not careful there.
Yeah.
So they were both cautious, doing sensible driving.
They were. Right then, so Tony Walker has been overhauled by Gary Craig. Tony Walker owes us a pit stop, I think, for fuel. Obviously nobody takes tyres in this series because the tyres last for a long time beyond the 40 minutes that we race for. 9 minutes to go here.
Goodness me.
Wobbly, Miguel and Adam.
The pit stops are late because, of course, with the delay of the safety car. So
yes,
this would normally have been done and dusted and resolved by now, but it isn't, is it?
No, not at all. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Adam Wright, as Fiona has the leaders.
Why is Adam by himself? He was right in the thick of it a second ago.
He was.
Oh, somebody went in the pits, didn't they?
They did, but he was closer to Miguel than he was previously. It's a bit sketchy on the stream at the moment. Apologies, folks. That must be my connection. Fiona keeps a bit wide there, which is helping the leaders a little there, which is good.
Yeah.
Through, there you go. I mean, this is still technically for position. If Fiona's managed to fuel save the whole race, then that was a pass for position there. As Spencer overhauls Sam Blease into the corner before the carousel. We know these two will race one another absolutely, so that was a good move. Right, Gary Craig is honed in on the back of Jamie Wilson now, so didn't take much to catch up there, although I think Jamie Wilson's just out of pits. Just out of the pits not that long ago, so it shuffled him out ahead of Gary Craig.
He's going to fight though, so he'll get his tyres. Well, his tyres are still warm, so it shouldn't really make a lot of difference.
No, he's driving defensively at the minute, but fairly, has to be said.
Yeah, well, he won't want to give up his place. You know, Jamie White, he's got very good pace.
Yeah,
I mean,
Gary's.
I think Gary's got the slight edge, but you know, he's still going to have to fight for it.
Yeah, Gary slingshotted that carousel at the end there. It was lovely, but there was nowhere to go because Jamie's car was right where he wanted to be.
Yeah.
And he's got a good run here down through Kettle Bottoms and into Canada Corner, but there's nowhere to go here either for him at the moment. As
Jamie seems to have become a very good defensive driver.
Yeah, he is. He knows exactly the optimal position to place his car. 3 cars in pit road now. Lee Bowden, Demis Tigelaar and Charles Walsh with Fiona's just entered as well. So this must be...
So just the last rush.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. There are some cars that have not pitted at all. Now, this is what I was meaning before as... This is going to come to a head now, I think, this 3-way battle here. Lee Bowden's in the pits. We've got 6 minutes to go. I would love for somebody to have fuel saved this. I don't know whether it was even possible to do that, as these three, the lead 3 cars that have pitted, for fuel, not just for damage, are pretty much on the same bit of tarmac. So we'll have to see what happens here. What happened to Sam Blease?
He's got pace, hasn't he? Because he hasn't been dropped by these two, and they've been. He was a bit off but back before, so he's closed up with them. He's really got the pace of them, I think. That's very good news.
Definitely. I'm just looking for what happened to Sam Blease, and I've not got anything on my event tracker at all for a very, very long time. In fact, I'm going to stop looking because we might miss something else. Short answer is I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out later.
Oh, both safeguard cars together.
Yep. That's a bit further back in the distance there, but they are absolutely on the same bit of tarmac. And Stephen Walker, our race leader, has now entered pit road. Gets down to pit
I
lane
thought you was
speed.
trying to make your dream come true, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Freddie in behind him. And everybody, really. This is the end of that.
Yeah, I don't think it can be done. That's
Well, Sam Blease yet to pit. Going again.
well, if anybody can do it, if anybody can do magic regarding pit stops, it's Sam Blease.
Now, that might just be so that he can lead a lap. Hard to tell. But what it does mean is that
Well, he's got the fuel. Crikey,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you?
these two impulse cars are going to assume the lead of the race, probably. Oh, no, they're not. So Stephen Walker is out ahead. Freddie Van Eekhoven is going to be out of the pits ahead.
Even didn't need much fuel, did he?
Spencer comes out almost in the middle of it. This is going to be quite a dramatic end to the race, I think.
Well, they're all in with the shout here. Stevens, he'll be going like a greyhound.
Yes. Right, so Adam's been separated from the two impulse cars because Spencer got out just ahead of him. Stephen Walker, who's dominated this feature race, has a very tidy 7-second lead here. I may yet be vindicated for throwing that yellow, but I felt I had to do it at the time, so let's see what happens. Oh, Adam a bit wide, Freddie a bit wide. Don't forget they're on the same tyres they were on before, so it's not like they're out on cold. These guys are just racing as they should. Everybody, there's packs of racing still everywhere, Alan.
Yeah, it's ferocious still. Nobody's eased off at all.
No, not even a
I
little.
think it's the last couple of minutes, but nobody's told this lot. They
No.
still think it's the first 5 minutes. Oh, hello. What's that?
No, this is Sam Blease. I'm keen to see what he does.
He's on by himself. That's a bit lonely.
I'm wondering, I was asked a question, what's happened to Sam? I had nothing on my tracker. Yeah, and exactly what David is saying on the chat, Sam can be 6 seconds slower and still win. 6 seconds a lap slower and still win. I don't disagree with that. I do wonder whether he realised, if I don't stop, I could win this. I mean, if he pits now, it was just for that one lap. But he may be taking white flag. Is he taking white flag? Yes, he is. Oh my, so Sam Blease on a no-stopper.
Oh my word, is he going to give you your dream come true, Pete?
I
Goodness.
think. Did you hear how much off the gas he was? Oh my God. This is the
Is he gonna
first.
run out?
This is the first. David called it
He's
on
off
the chat.
gas.
David has this in the bag. He's off the gas a mile before turn 3, should be 2. And he's onto Moraine Straight now. This is epic.
He's downhill still.
Yep. Stephen Walker is in second place. This is going to be a Geodesic Racing White Hydra race. Geodesic Racing White. Annihilation of everybody else. And I may well be vindicated on the throwing the yellow caution out. So let's see what happens.
Oh my word.
Spencer.
Oh, it's dramatic.
Yeah, Spencer McCarthy is not done with either. He's already bridged the gap to the impulse guys, and it's this lap he needs to do something with it. So plenty of racing track still to go. That's Miguel in front of him. This is the battle for third place. I think the battle first and second is done. If Sam Blease runs out of fuel, he's got his own teammate to push him up the hill and over the line. You cannot ask for
Good
better.
point. Good point.
Yeah, David did call it that Sam Blease could be the winner right from the point where the yellow was thrown. That's the lead he's got over his own teammate, and there's 5 seconds. Is it 5 seconds? Yeah, 5 seconds back to this group. Spencer has a chance to do something with the Impulse boys. Adam's a bit too far beyond, but there is racing going on further back. This is Tony Walker closing in on Jamie Wilson.
Well, Tony's going very well.
He's doing a great job, actually. I don't know how we're going to pick out who's got driver of the meeting tonight. I really don't. As Sam Blease approaches the final corners. In fact, that is the final corner. And powers it up the straight, up the hill. And will take an incredible victory here and no stopper. Takes the checkered flag there. What a fantastic race result. Stephen Walker, his own teammate, behind him. And then the 2 Impulse cars and Spencer. Adam,
What a finish.
yeah. Freddie Van Eekhoven, 7th place. That's a good finish given where he started, I guess.
Yeah. Jamie Jeffrey coming in 8th.
Gary Craig home in 10th with Rob Sharp just ahead.
Yeah, in top 10 position. After a race like that, any kind of top 10 is genius award.
It is.
Oh, look at that. That was a bit of a wreck.
After the checker though. Matt Elmore getting a bit intimate there with Carl Hardy, not for the first time in his life. And Woodward up and over the hill to finish the race there. Fiona just ahead of him. Fiona's done really well there, 18th place.
Hold on, Pete.
Yeah. Finished on lead lap again. Didn't get caught up in the shenanigans, I don't think. As Ant Woodward decides he wants to pile it into a wall. There's still cars racing, so that'll go against him.
Yeah, there's Matt.
Yeah. Matt Flannery into the last corner. We've got
Mr. Barney coming.
Yeah. And then some way behind Matt Flannery, once we'll see him go across the line here. It's a good result for Matt Flannery getting round after all the shenanigans at the start. Alejandro Advani is some way back again.
Anybody getting to the finishing line is
a
big job tonight.
Yeah.
We've had some ups and downs and some really furious racing.
We have.
Goodness me.
So Alejandro Advani over the line. Last of the running cars. And then there was JB Dejoux, who got caught up in the mess at the start and clearly got far too much damage for what he was comfortable with, and has reset the car at that point. So we should have gone official, but sometimes with these long races, official results take a while to come.
Thanks to JB, but to be honest, with the chaos right at the beginning, I'm glad that we didn't lose any more. Everybody get to the finish.
So, round 16, folks, at Road America. I don't remember a race more filled with drama, a race week filled with drama in this series. I really don't. Sam Blease has proven that it's possible to no-stop a race with a caution flag. So, for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White, Sam Blease is your winner tonight, our reigning champion. Stephen Walker, his teammate, finished second. Wobbly Kneecaps rounds out the podium positions in this one, with Miguel Freitas in 4th, Spencer McCarthy in 5th, Adam Wright in 6th, Freddie Van Eekhoven in 7th, Jamie Jeffrey in 8th, Rob Sharp in 9th, with Gary Craig in 10th. Tony Walker finished 11th. Jamie Wilson came home in 12th place. 13th was Carl Hardy. Lee Bowden in 14th. Demis Ticcilar was 15th. 16th was Matt Flashy Elmore. Fiona Siddons finished 17th. Ant Woodward finished in 18th. 19th was Michael Seal. 20th was Charles Walsh. 21st was Matt Flannery. Alejandro Advani finished 22nd, and JB Dejoux didn't finish the race. He was bailed out on the first lap of that one. Whilst that was hectic, it really was an interesting couple of races, and I can only agree with Alex Sevillano-Ledo on the chat there. That was very, very impressive racing. There was some great overtaking. Oh dear. Let's see what happens when we speak to some of these guys, if they're available to talk to. Whilst we're waiting for them to gather in the interview room, any standout moments and drivers for you at this point before we start talking to people?
Oh, crikey. Well, I mean, Sam for a start. I mean, what? That's just outstanding, amazing thing. It was. Everybody was so involved tonight. There wasn't anybody who wasn't in a scrap, was there?
No.
I mean, how do you pick out somebody? There was just so many. I think everybody needs to be picked out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Michael was showed great pace and was, and you know, Rob Shaw. My goodness me, pace on the man.
Yeah, very, very fast. Very, very fast driver. He came 5th in the first race, 9th in the second. I do feel like he could have done even more, to be honest. Right. Shall we get on with some of these interviews? Oh, I need to set everything away like I normally do. So if you give me a few seconds, folks, I can clear the screens of...
Yeah, we can watch the slow-mo.
Yeah, watch the slow-mo. Why not?
It's nice watching the slow-mo. It's good. It gives you a different view of things.
Yeah, it's very interesting actually. When I'm able to focus more on what's been going on than just keeping on top of all the action, so that I can find it in the in the chat and the broadcast. I do spot things, enormous amounts of things actually, that you overlook when you're in the middle of the broadcast. Right, so where are we going to go first? We are going to go with let's go through the torture. Let's go through the agony of speaking with our race 1 winner. Race 2 managed to get back after causing the massive pile up onto the podium. Wobbly kneecaps. Good evening.
Hey, Pete. What's up, mate?
I have to say, I feel a little bit guilty, and the reason that other people didn't score higher, because I inadvertently gave you and Miguel the opportunity to get back through the field, and probably you filled up your cars a little bit in the very first stop that you had to make anyway.
I did, but I didn't really get any advantage of it because I was completely at the back of the pack.
Yeah.
And apparently I towed right when the safety car was out, so I had to drop to the end anyway. That's what I was asking.
Yes, it will do that. Yeah. So
so I think that I thought that I was clear for that, but it probably wasn't.
No.
So yeah, well, and to be honest, the fuel thing, because it happened in lap 1, I don't think I could have made it. I think like Sam, but I had to go for the whole pack, so there was no use for me saving the same way he did. Yeah. I mean, I think some people were sorry about it, but I get it. I mean, we got an advantage because of that. We had to fuel less during the stop.
Yeah, you'd have only been putting a thimble full in, especially
but in
if
my
you towed.
defense, but in my defense, Matt stopped, had to fill more than me because I took it really slow on the out laps because we had to get back to the pack, and because of that, we were burning fuel anyway because we only filled 1 liter. Right. So basically, if you were running at a normal pace, you would have burned that liter off already.
Okay, right, yeah, that's true. Yeah. So race 1, flag to flag, business as usual. Pretty boring, if I have to say. You need to get a bit more exciting in the first races.
Again, in my defense, I did my quali lap completely without any tow whatsoever. I mean, everybody else had tow around me.
Yeah, I did notice that. I just didn't call it out on the chat because I really didn't want to.
I'll do it.
Miguel was behind you on your qualifying laps, and I think you gave him a bit of a boost, but we'll skip over that. And in the second race, of course, through the kink and down into kettle bottoms, and then it all came to pieces. Miguel lost the car massively, and To be fair, you didn't really have anywhere to go, but the carnage that followed, I don't think I had any other choice but to throw a yellow.
I think that, to be honest, I think that I think on a sprint race, I think something happened in the sprint race as well. I haven't seen it, but I heard it.
Yeah.
And I think like on a feature race, you're fine doing so, but maybe we need to like slightly change the rule, like saying, well, if it happens, you're not allowed to fuel or something weird, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd ever police that, but
No, we couldn't. But like, it's a good community racing league. Like, we could try to do something like that. And like in the first race, I screamed in Discord. Like lots of guys were in Discord, and I screamed, "Oh, Kink is coming up! Watch out, you guys!" Like I was just antagonizing him. And on the second race, I saw Miguel going wide the first bit, and then I had a run on him on the inside of the kick. But I thought, well, and anybody else, I would have sent it. But it was Miguel, so like, oh, now it's my teammate. I'll back off. And then he did the same thing on exit again, and it looked like, from my perspective, that he saved it. Otherwise, I would have never sent it to the left.
To be
so
fair,
he saved it and came back on.
I'm going to do something ridiculous, and I'm going to agree with you, because watching it from the top down, it did look like Miguel had caught it, but he was just massively slow. And then after it looked like he caught it, he continued to rotate.
Yes.
And that was the issue. Because
yeah.
if he would have kept on sliding, I wouldn't have went to the left. And as soon as I noticed that he didn't caught it, he did caught it, but then I was already on his side while we touched. Yeah, I couldn't. Well, it's one of those things. It's a Road America thing, and I'm happy that at least most of the people were in the session still when the safety car came out. And sorry for JB because he had a bad race as well on the first one, and he didn't realize that there was a safety car coming out. So yeah, that's unfortunate.
So here comes your opportunity to vindicate. Have you got the stream running?
What?
Have you got the broadcast running?
No.
All right. Then you should do, because we're busy watching it at the moment. So, is this the lap? This isn't the lap, is it? Was it lap 2?
First lap 1 on the feature race.
Oh, I'm at the wrong point. That's why, because I'm stupid. We all know that Pete is stupid at times. So we're going to make our way around here. So everything's fine and dandy. There are green fields. The sun is shining. Bunnies on hills. Miguel's pretty close to the car in front. And then it all starts to unravel at this point. So
yeah, he went wide here.
Yeah, this is it.
And I had a lot of overspeed. I went a little bit wide as well, but I kept the speed going. And I could have gone to the right, but again, you don't do that on the kink. And well, you know, it's. I was like, oh, well, I'll back off, be the smart guy. You know, I thought about it. I'll admit it, and then I turned back.
Yeah, so it looks like Miguel's gathered it together at this point, and it even looks like it on the broadcast that me and Alan watched in real time. But then look at that.
Yeah, it is a bit like the setup. I usually make the setups, and it is really tricky on the first lap. So I was braking here. I was holding back, like, oh, he's gonna do something stop, and it looked like this. But oh, he got it, and then I went to the left, and suddenly he comes back across again.
Yoink.
And I tried to brake as hard as I possibly could, and I'm sorry for the other guys behind, because I asked Rob Sharp, like he is fairly new in the league, and I saw a flash of him while I was spinning, like I suddenly hear or something. I think I saw Rob coming. Oh,
that's
Woodward. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I saw Rob coming in, and it's like, oh, did you got it through? Like on the right hand side of Mikael, you see him.
Yeah.
And I tried to steer back on my steering wheel, all crooked, holding the brakes, and then I'm going back on track. No, I don't.
Yeah, I can see you trying to turn into the wall, but obviously going backwards, you've got no control over anything. And then I think you get hit here. I find this just entertaining because it's you getting smashed to pieces.
But to be honest, it was unfortunate, and I'm sorry for Miguel that he cast it, because you feel bad after something like that.
Oh yeah, too right.
But I think that to be my defense, I think I salvaged the best result I could. I realized what was going on at the front because Sam mentioned something, and Steven didn't react on it, and I knew I wasn't quick enough to get to them.
Yeah.
Although I was doing blistering laps at the end, but I figured that I saw Spencer coming out, and I normally I don't do that, but I was like, I screamed in Discord like, yes, I got him! I need to get that podium, and normally I'm like, I'm really cool, but like I don't do that, but you know, this time my tactic worked for once. That's good as well.
Yeah. And it was a good recovery drive, to be fair. I think a lot of them probably deserve to be ahead of you two impulse cars, given the fact that you were the epicenter of the disaster. But it just shows how fast you two are. No idea what that does to the standings, but Sam Blease has just proven that you can fuel save on a caution race to the end.
Yeah, he did a good job again, and it was a smart move from his side. I thought about it, I couldn't because I had to go through the traffic, and yeah, it was really smart to react on that, and it's kind of a miracle that nobody else thought about it. And like I think like 5 laps in, Steve was like, "Are you fuel saving, Sam?" And Sam didn't react, and then you hit Steve like, "Damn it!"
That was class.
That's quite funny.
So, go on.
And the racing standards, they were a little bit doubtful this week. I mean, if this is the WTCS, I wouldn't be surprised, but it isn't. And it was a lot of door banging and weird moves. And I think it's the track because we have a long straight and it's a bit of a draft track. And yeah, I think we'll clear up next week. Which I'm not there for, so you are very happy.
Oh, wow, excellent.
Oh.
I couldn't be happier about that. What about you, Alan?
No, that's no. You know, Wobbly's been doing a great job just recently. He's been
I found something in the setups.
Yeah. Great fast times and determined racing. It's been a delight to watch.
Note to self: new co-commentator required. One that does not agree with Wobbly and does not sing praises. Right, okay, I've got that down. Thanks for that. Well, from what we saw, the incidents that caused big crashes, as it were, especially in the first race, was just racing incidents. People losing it on cold tyres is what we saw.
Yeah, it was hard to. It was a weird balance. You had to warm quite quickly, and then at my first set, on the official, I overheated them, and I realized that, and we were talking about it in the Impulse Discord, and yeah, we did something with it to avoid that, and like the temps were getting there, but if you kept running the same settings the whole time, then you would overheat.
Yeah.
So you had to be really mindful and wary on where you put your foot down, and I think that worked, and I think you saw that on the pace which me and Miguel had. I think we were a little bit quicker than everybody else. And I think that's the set and the way we actually dove into the telemetry once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, fair enough. So Okayama is the next race that you're going to miss, and hopefully others can clearly put you further down the league table because that's only fair. You're going on holiday, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Vive la France.
Ne
parlez-vous français? Je m'appelle que je suis hollandaise.
Oui. That's about as. Oh, right. David Johansson says that we demand that you share your setups with everybody so that everybody can wreck a field just like you've done.
Yeah, that's good. And I'll share it with anyone, but not with everyone.
Oh, okay, right, excellent. Good stuff. In that case, anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and wreck a different field in a different league?
Miguel, because the most important thing is that we have this rule at Impulse that if you kill another driver, then you have to pay a fine.
I saw you hit him.
So the fine is €25 for killing a team member. And he's having to pay €25. So I'm very happy that he has to do that. But in his defense, I mean, I wasn't mad. I was like, oh man, not this. And well, anyway, not you for setting it up, but at least Sir Alan for being here. Okay. The other drivers for being in the Discord because it was really fun. And I want to give Impulse a shout out as well because it's been really good lately. And I want to especially thank Rob Sharp for turning up because I think it's a great bloke. We should more, and his team just folded. So I think it's great to have him in the community now.
Oh yeah, I mean he's not far off having driver of the meeting for me. He did I think it was a 5th in the first race and a 9th in the second against this lot. Especially when you're trying to kill everybody. I think that's exceptional racing in my book. So yeah, good call. It's the only decent thing you've said all night.
No, I have one more decent thing to say.
Go on then.
Lifting is for pussies and for Pete Bingham.
And apologies for the language, folks. It's wobbly. What can we say? So
talk about kittens.
Of course you are not. Anyway, in that case, enjoy your holiday, Wobbly. At least nobody else will die on track as a result.
Well,
of
tomorrow
your
maybe.
driving. Well,
Maybe
maybe.
tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe a Monza. I'll get one.
Well, see if you can chalk them up, yeah? Wobbly kneecaps, everybody.
No.
Good
Cheers,
eye.
mate.
Oh, he's flushed himself. That's rude. Right, next into the booth. We shall bring in the only driver of a solar-powered car tonight. Sam Blees, everybody.
Hello.
Yay!
So, we were wondering whether anybody would do it, and then people started pitting quite pretty early, to be honest, and we were like, no, can't do it. And then I started getting nervous, thinking, Christ, I've just thrown a yellow so that the people that caused the crash can win the race. Brilliant. But you saved me all my blushes, Sam, so thank you very much. Talk us through the first race first. You got a third, so you got a double podium tonight, albeit not on the top spot for both, and much needed points in both races, so well done. The first race was fairly sedentary compared to the rest, though, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much. I think I gained. I think I qualified fourth. Maybe I'm not sure, but I held position. Had to go at Miguel on the first lap, but then I got a bit spooked by Gary running into the back of me into the four. So I wasn't able to like really challenge there, and by the time I was behind, they had a bit more pace. Honestly, like I felt like if I really put a lap together, I could match them, but I didn't ever, and they kept doing those lap times. So I think they had a bit in hand, and yeah, they just had a bit of pace on me. So yeah, settled in, minimum mistakes. I think I only had one incident in that one, and just brought it home for the podium and tried to focus on the second one.
Yeah, and second race, Wobbly and Miguel tried their very best to take out the entire field. Most of the crashes that me and Alan saw tonight were all to do with cold tyres, and Miguel and Wobbly were no exception. Clearly, Miguel had no traction whatsoever going through the kink, and yeah, it resulted in a disaster. When did you realise that it was possible to no-stop it?
Quite late, actually.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I nearly pitted early. Like when I was losing time with fighting with Spencer, Gary, and Adam, and Freddie, and everyone, and I think Michael as well was in that pack as well. I was like, well, as long as the lead is not pulling away, I'll happily sit here, save fuel. But I was still assuming I'd stop, and then I started going, well, maybe if I stop now, I'll get clean air. But I looked because obviously we just had the safety car. Everyone was bunched up, so there wasn't really any clean air. Like I'd come out maybe a few seconds off the back of the pack, but then I'd quite quickly be catching and passing and losing time again. So I decided to just sit where I was and save and not be too aggressive. And then my fuel calculator said 4 litres. I reckon I can maybe save 4 litres.
4 litres is a lot, mind, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 litres is a lot, and you saw the lap times I was doing at the end to make it happen.
Yeah.
I was having to go much slower than I knew, but I knew it was a long pit lane, and I knew it was a long pit lane that takes a long time because it's a fast bit of the track as well. So it's not just a long time you're in there,
You lose
but
the
you're losing
delta on
a
the
large
speed.
it's a big delta. So I sort of thought, well, I'll give it a go, and I could always bail out at the end. And then by the time I was like 3 or 4 seconds back from Stephen, I basically committed myself because I wasn't going to be able to close that down. My pit stop wouldn't have been quick enough, so I was like, well, I've got to make it work now. So I started letting people by and saving more aggressively. And so a normal lap was 2.65, and I did at least one that was under 2. And several that were like 2.2, 2.2, 2.3s.
Yeah.
To try and get there at the end. And
So,
then I finished with 0.4 litres and managed to bring it home just about.
And I was observant enough to notice that even if you'd run out as you came out of the last corner, it was your own teammate that was following. So the chances are you could have got help across the line either way.
Yes.
But yeah, fantastic that you've managed to do it. It proves that it can be possible, but it's an extreme choice and only with a yellow, I expect, with this 35% fuel.
I think so. At other tracks, it might be slightly like I don't think you could do it without a yellow anywhere. But
Right.
this is quite a high usage track, so at other tracks, the yellow might make it a lot more viable. And I
okay,
actually,
yeah.
I thought we had a chat as we came around to the green after the safety car, and Wobbly said, because he actually managed to put a couple of litres in when he towed.
Oh, okay.
So he said, "How much fuel have you got?" I've got 31.8. Gary said, "I've got 30.8 or something," and I had less than Wobbly. I had 31.2, and I was like, "Oh, Wobbly's probably going to no stop it." So I then spent the next laps going aggressively and wasted. Like if I'd planned it from the start, it would have been much easier to do.
Yeah.
But there you go, it worked. And we had an interesting conversation when Wook realised I dropped back by 5 seconds. He went, "Are you fuel saving?" I just didn't answer.
Yeah, Wobbly said that happened. Yeah, that's quite funny. But that's going to do your team points. No harm whatsoever. It kind of is a shame for you that the Impulse guys scored pretty highly given what happened.
Yeah, they did really well to come back through. To be fair,
did,
and, third and fourth is a great result. But yeah, I was hoping at halfway that this was going to be a really big race, big turnaround for us. Like particularly like me against Miguel in the individual, and then us as a team, a 1-2 versus. I thought they might be 6, 7, 8, 9, that sort of area. But they'd obviously driven really well, and there was Spencer and Gary had a bit of a coming together, and Adam, and like there was a few little nibbles in the mid pack at that point that
others
I think
shuffled
gave them
themselves.
the window.
Yeah, they shuffled themselves behind the Impulse guys. Miguel did a great job of getting back to where he was. We just wish Wobbly's car could have spontaneously combusted or vaporized.
I mean, personally, at a personal level, I want as many cars between me and Miguel as possible, even if one of them is Wobbly. I accept that's not ideal, but if it has to be one of them, then that's fine.
So, great racing. Okayama is the next destination for TCRs next week. We have raced that before, but it's a long time ago, and I don't know. Were you in the league at that point? I think you were.
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times. I've done it in Audi, and I think maybe in the Elantra as well. I think, I'm hoping it'll be less of a Honda track because I think we've had a couple in a row now where the Honda's just only a tenth or two, and around a big lap like this, that is nothing. But it just means that if you're not perfect, they're pulling away. Even if I'm perfect and they're not, they're pulling away. And I'm not. I'm never perfect. I make too many mistakes. So hopefully, the balance will swing in our favour a bit. We had a couple early on. We had one. Knock Hill was definitely in our favour in the Veloster. So maybe Okayama will be as well. We'll have to see when we get there.
Yeah, cool. Well, we look forward to watching you out. There's no Wobbly there. He's on holiday now. So you're going to get some decent points over him. Okayama.
No Spencer either. He's holiday.
Oh, is he? Oh, right. That opens up the top of the table for you then, doesn't it? As an individual driver. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, you and Miguel. Going toe-to-toe or head-to-head or whatever you want to call it.
Exciting.
I know. Any shout-outs you want to make before we let you go? Obviously to Miguel and Wobbly for parting the seas.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the race director for allowing me to save enough fuel to make that strategy work. So cheers, Pete.
Yeah, no worries.
And Wobbly and Miguel, part of the season. Obviously, they had a great drive coming back through, and everyone who turned out. Good to see a big grid, 23 cars out, which is the most we've had for a while, so that's nice. And you guys, as always, for putting on the broadcast. I look forward to watching it back tomorrow.
Awesome stuff, and we thank you as well for proving that it can be done. That you can just barely, but barely is enough. That's 100% success.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, our reigning champion, Sam Blees, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Good on Sam.
Right, next up, we shall bring in the luckiest of all Wookie Walkers, Stephen Walker. Good evening. Hello.
Oi.
Oh, you're
Oi.
Oh, yeah. So, what did you do in the first race?
I came 10th after trying to do I was living up to the number 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen and doing a full send into one of the corners.
Yeah.
And Gary was getting underneath me, and I think netcode put Adam into Gary into me, and I managed to save it, keep it out of the wall, but I think I had a bit of straight line damage. I almost caught Jamie. I think Jamie Jeffrey, it was like 0.1 over the line in the first race. That was close.
Yeah.
That was good fun, but yeah, I suck around here.
You've still finished 10th in the first race in good company after an incident, and got yourself on the second step of the podium in a feature race. Feature race wise, did you discuss? I guess you didn't, given the conversations that I've already had. Discuss no stopping it with Sam. He's kind of independently gone and attempted that, hasn't he?
I noticed. So I was at the front and I was pulling away after I got past Freddie, and I'd considered doing it myself because last time we had the safety car, I did it then, and I think I won the race because of it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I could do it again.
But you splash and dashed on that one, didn't you?
No, on that one I didn't. On this one I did. I no stopped it last time.
Yeah.
Because I realised really early on, and to be fair, there were more laps behind the safety car, and there were shorter laps. And I planned for that. Whereas this, to be fair, I think it was Freddie that was in front of me. We had a really good race, and I got so caught up in overtaking him or trying to overtake him that any fuel that I'd saved behind the safety car, I just used then, and then. Yeah, I was pulling away and I'd look down and it was like 5 seconds. I was like, Sam should really be passed by now. I was thinking, I thought it'll be second and then he'll be catching me because he was quicker. And I was like, he's saving fuel. That's what he's doing. So yeah, as soon as he's like, I said, you're saving fuel, aren't you? He's like, maybe. I don't think I can do it. So I was like, well, you definitely can do it then, aren't you? So,
your brothers called it out. Wasn't Stephen Walker the first car to no fuel it after a safety car at Imola? I think so. Absolutely right. But great racing tonight. Some fantastic overtakes. Your little tussle with Freddie was brilliant to watch, actually.
Yeah, it was good fun. I mean, to be fair, the only reason why I got past him was because he went a bit deep into one corner, and I got a really big run. And I feel like he just kind of let off a tad and let me through a little bit on that corner. Otherwise, he probably would still be trying to overtake him. It was really good fun. I lacked pace compared to Wobbly and Miguel. So I mean, finishing second is great, but quite frankly, the only reason why I did that is because I had a really bad first race and started high up. I got a really good start in the second race. Jumped. I can't remember who it was. Who was next to me.
Oh, hang on, it's in my head somewhere. Can't remember.
I can't remember.
But
Michael Seal.
Michael Seal. Yeah.
Yeah, jumped him, and then I had a good race with Freddie, and I don't know. Like, I'm not a massive. I like this track, but not in this car. I don't think it. While there was good racing by the sounds of it, I just don't think it suits. The laps are too long, so you don't feel like you're racing for as long, even though obviously it's like 60 minutes per lap or whatever. But slight exaggeration. However, it was okay. Like I say, I wasn't happy with my pace. Sam and I are trying to make as much back as we can on the Wobbly and Miguel, and it's just difficult when I have a really bad first race and drop a lot of points. I don't think I got many incident points. I don't know if that might help. I don't know how many Wobbly and Miguel got, but
the incident points make a big difference by the time you get to the end of a season. It can't be overstated enough how much that affects the finishing order by the time you get to the end of a season. So keep at it, because that's a good way to. It's kind of like racing tax, isn't it? You don't want to have to pay it, so just don't. Just stay away from it. And it, 5 here, 5 there, 5 elsewhere, 3 races. That's 15 points in the championship. That's a lot.
I think last week I had 11 in both races, or 13 or something in both races. So it's
26 points potentially you've just tossed back into the pool, if you know what I mean.
No.
It's the Safe Driver Award is kind of there as a carrot for everybody, and if everybody doesn't watch out, Fiona's going to win that one, because she's doing a fantastic job, and so is Jamie Jeffrey, who kept it kind of clean tonight. If I'm being honest, he might be up for driver of the meeting. But anyway, this is your interview. Anybody you want to have a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your 3rd place finish? Was it 3rd? No, it wasn't. 12th place finish. And your 2nd place podium finish at the end there in the feature race.
Yeah, obviously you guys for putting it on. Appreciate the effort that's put in every season to put it on and turn up. I think there was a 23 car turnout tonight,
Yeah.
which is one of the bigger ones for a while, which is great. Good to see Captain Matt Elmore back with his teammate Carl having nice little crashes.
Yeah.
Um,
Didn't go missed. It didn't get missed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously the other guys in the league for racing and making it fun and exciting all the way up the grid. I think there's a lot of people around similar pace, so everyone can have a race, which is obviously what you want and what you need. And then Sam, my brother, had a good race. I think in the second race.
He did, yeah.
Sam for putting up with
He
me
did.
as a teammate.
And Tony's doing really well, Stephen. It's
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Doing very well.
he's getting better and better. He's getting better and better. So he'll be up there in no time, I'm sure.
Without a doubt,
It's
actually,
been
yeah.
good to see.
Well, we'll let you go and practice for Okayama, which is our next destination. I know you've driven loads of laps around there, even in this league, and you do well because I had a quick poke about before. So, yeah, let's hope you can haul some points back at Okayama. Great racing tonight. Stephen Walker, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Good night.
Right, so next up, even if I could speak properly, it'd help. Into the booth is firstly forwards, Rob Sharp. Good evening.
Oh, well done, Rob.
Yeah, well, you're probably the most consistent of all the races tonight. Has to be said.
Not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. So.
Oh, I'd be ecstatic with it because I don't think there's any chance of me finishing that far up the field. Fifth in your first race out tonight. Some shenanigans way further back in the field from you, so that didn't contribute. So you didn't get any freebies. You fought for everything you got in that first race, so well done. Finished in the middle of all the heavy hitters. So around you was obviously Wobbly, Miguel, and Sam. Spencer finished immediately in front of you, and then behind you was Gary, Adam, Carl, Jamie Jeffrey, and Stephen Walker. You can only take from that you had a fantastic race because I think collectively their I ratings are more than, well, certainly more than my bank balance. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I definitely felt like the pressure was on tonight, to say the least. I think that's why. Yeah, the first race was good. But I really felt the pressure. I think I had Alex behind me as well.
Right.
I think it was. Adam. So
yeah.
he was on my toes for a bit, and then obviously Gary near the end as well. So I felt the pressure all the way through race one.
Yeah, well, you shouldered it very well. And then race 2 happened, and
it wasn't the best race 2, especially my start. I thought a black flag to start, to be honest.
oh right, we missed that.
It wasn't the best. Like, thought I black flagged it because I tapped my brake instead of the clutch.
Oh.
And I think I panicked, stuck it into second gear, and then literally half the field went past me. Right. So I was like, "Oh, this isn't good." Because I thought if I get a good start here, I could get top 5 or something.
Yeah.
And then I just immediately went back to about 16th and just thought, "Well, I've got to work hard now." And then luckily we got the safety car, so I was quite happy with that.
Where were you then when all that was kicking off? Were you still touring around behind?
I was literally driving head on at it, and I luckily saw a gap because I thought if I slow down, all the boys behind me are not slowing down. So I was like, right, let's just wait for a gap, and there was. I stuck to it, and then luckily I think it was Wobbly let off his brakes to let back off the track, rather than hold his brakes and just stay in the track. Thank goodness he did, because I think if that had happened, it'd have been game over for me and probably the rest of the field behind me, because that would have been a complete trap bot.
Right. Okay.
So,
well, from what race direction saw, the track was blocked anyway. So you got the yellow that brought out the caution, and you finished. Yeah, you started at about 8th or 7th or something with a reverse, didn't you? And finished 9th. I mean, that's pretty consistent stuff, to be fair. This has been an exceptional race meeting in the fact that we don't often see this many crashes in a number of different races, and we've got them all in one. And especially blue on blue with Impulse, I have to say, I did a little bit of a giggle, if I'm being honest. Because they're so fast. They are so fast.
Yeah, them aliens, you know what I mean? I already know like a couple of the guys in this league ridiculously quick. You know, I've already been calling them aliens. They don't like to say they are, but they're aliens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this league's got. If you go into the officials for TCR.
Yeah, I'm always in them, and they are the top boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are. The names are all over it, which is great for the league. You know, we've built up a great community here, and it's great to have you as part of it.
It's great to be part of it as well, Pete. To be honest, like that's one of the reasons why I came to the league is racing with the boys and officials on a Tuesday. Love the racing with them, nice and clean, super competitive, just how it should be in a touring car. And I thought, let's give it a try, and I haven't looked back since. You know, did the race at Knockhill with yourselves, loved it to bits, and that's why I thought, right, I'm signing up because it's probably one of the best leagues out there, without a doubt. It's the most fun I've had on iRacing, so.
Wow, okay. Well, that's great to hear. And then, of course, Road America happened and absolutely burst that bubble, didn't it? Oh, dear. But no, seriously, great to have you here. We're going to let you have a shout-out now because you deserve it after finishing in those lofty positions tonight. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go and practice for Okayama?
Just thanks to my team for, supporting me as they have done over the past year or so. Like, without them, I wouldn't have improved and got to the level I'm at now. And yeah, thank you to you guys for having me on board, and thank you to everyone in the league for great driving and keeping it clean and lots of fun. So,
okay. Well, for all the nice comments, we'll slip you that $5 later.
Cheers, mate.
As we agreed beforehand. No, seriously. Great having you in the league, and look forward to seeing you next time on track. Rob Sharp, everybody.
I'll see you guys. Take care.
Rob.
Cheers, Alan. Cheers, guys.
Right then, and last for an interview, and becoming a regular in the interview booth on these nights is Fiona Siddons. Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening, P.
Well,
good evening, Alan.
Where do you start with this? You've had a great night. Let me see. In the first race, you finished in 20th, so lead lap again, and stayed out of a lot of the trouble, to be fair, but still had a lot of competitive racing. We saw you doing some great overtakes, actually, in that first race. Talk us through it, if you can remember it, that is.
Race 1, first lap, big battle, and then tried getting down the inside of Alejandro on the start-finish straight. And he just moved over a bit and we made contact. So I had to battle from the pit lane in that one.
Yep.
Race 2, it was mega. It was the most fun I've had. I think we should have this track every week.
It was certainly eventful. I'd forgotten about that incident in the first race. Yeah, we saw you heading up Road America straight past Pit Road, and it all came apart at that point, didn't it? When Alejandro was he was in the middle of the track drifting to the right. I don't think you had very much more track to populate, so it came together, and there was an incident there. But yeah, second race. Wow. I mean, where were you when it all kicked off at the kink?
I got up to P13 when safety car was there. I nearly got a nosebleed. I've never been that high up without everybody pitting before. No,
that's brilliant. And obviously we've had our first, with this fuel limit anyway, first no stopper from Sam Blaze under a yellow flag. Nobody else has tried it. Did it cross your mind at all, or are you too heavy on the right foot in order to be able to fuel save that amount of literage?
I think I'm a bit too heavy on the right foot.
Yeah.
You learned on a tractor, didn't you, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah. But in that race too, I have to say well done to Charles. We went into turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
And we got side by side through turn 3 and stayed like that all the way through to Canada Corner.
No, we watched that, didn't we, Alan?
Yes.
Yeah, we did,
yeah. Charles. It was
Brilliant.
it was good to see. Well, it's nice for both of you to have that kind of racing, isn't it? You know, we want to see that.
Yeah,
we want to see you having racing and getting stuck in.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, and we didn't make any contact whatsoever. So hats off to him. And
yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Rather standard of driving, and you keep finishing on the lead lap, Pete. To be honest, keep it on the lead lap with these guys. Especially the pace tonight was just furious, wasn't it? It was non-stop, fast and furious. Goodness me, it was.
Yeah, definitely. I know Carl and Gary said that I was on it tonight. They said they was impressed with my speed tonight. So yeah, that's a
well,
good
they had
boost.
to work. Lee and Carl were.
Yeah, that's it.
They had to drive. They're really good drivers these days, but my God, they had to work for it. Everybody's having to work hard on this in this league. The pace throughout the whole field is fantastic.
Yeah, it's good league, and if you make a mistake and hit somebody, nobody's ranting for days after with you. It's just take it on the chin and.
That's because of the standard of the driving, isn't it? And the courtesy of the drivers to each other. It's great, isn't it? We like to see that a lot.
Yeah.
And we saw a fantastic example of that tonight with Spencer as well.
Yeah, it's good when they're like that. You don't want people ranting because you make mistakes.
Yeah, no.
Well, it doesn't do anybody any good, does it? I mean, it's happened. If you feel particularly aggrieved, then why bother arguing about it? Just pop a protest in. Let the officials decide. What the determination needs to be. I don't even remember the year. I don't remember the year that I got a protest back from this league. It honestly, everybody just seems to. Nobody does anything naughty. It's just accidents on track, racing incidents. Never anything naughty. So let's just make sure that Max Verstappen doesn't join us, and then it'll be fine. Honestly, your race pace and your ability to finish not just on lead lap, but you finished in 18th place in that second race. Well, yeah, there was a good amount of carnage going on, but the people that finished behind you, they finished behind you because you were fast, and that has to be applauded. So great racing tonight.
I was only 20 seconds off the 2 or 3 cars in front of me as well. So.
All these little steps.
Decent pace. Yeah. Very decent pace.
We're looking at the replay of you all under caution getting up to speed, and you got a stream of cars behind you there with a good load of I rating in them. But yeah, you've done a great job tonight, Fiona.
Thank you.
Beyond Matthew's logistics with Vapors Mansfield, is there anybody else you want to thank before we let you go?
Carl for the setup. It was a brilliant setup what he gave me tonight, and you guys and everybody who's been watching.
Yeah, awesome stuff. We've got Okayama as the next destination. You must have driven that. Everybody drives at Okayama.
I've driven it, but I haven't driven it since I first joined and was in the Rookie Mazdas in officials.
Right, okay. Well, you've got a bit of time. It's not as slippy as a Japanese track as it used to be. There's a fair amount of grip on it now. Yeah, we hope you go equally as well, if not better there. And we look forward to seeing you next time out. Have a great week and get a load of practice in. Fiona Siddons, everybody.
See you next week.
Good night, Pete.
Right then. So that was a great round of interviews, actually. I really enjoyed that this week. What a bizarre couple of races.
Oh, we're plenty to talk about, didn't we? Goodness me. It was,
I mean,
what a night.
It's been one of those bizarre race nights. More crashes in that one than in a whole handful of races that we've had previously.
Very, very fast and alarming crashes.
Yeah, and it is always good when someone plays a strategy card, and Sam Blease has absolutely pulled the proverbial rabbit out of the hat there. What a great performance and well-controlled approach to it. But we've got a really, really tough decision on our hands here.
I think it is tough.
This is horrific. I know I've got some favourites in it. Sam Blease, because nobody else has done it in this series.
Is outstanding and deserves it for that just piece of brilliance. He deserves it.
I think he does, but then you look at people like Spencer. Demonstration of spectacular sportsmanship.
Deserves it for sure.
Yeah, does. And Rob Sharp, he's finished strongly.
Did,
in both
the
races. Both races. Not many
fantastic
that's
performance.
yeah.
You
not,
know,
not
and
many
at a
finished.
night where the racing has been so fast.
Yes.
You know, really fast and furious, and yeah, he had to work hard, and it was driving is out of his pants. Yeah, fantastic performance by Rob.
Yeah.
You
And-
know, what can you say? It's endless, to be honest, Pete.
Yeah, and you look at the Impulse guys, and yeah, they were the source of the disaster in the second race. But what a great comeback from
Exactly.
from Miguel. Obviously, we can't give positive comments to Wobbly because that would be a heinous sin if I did. So he can never get another point in the driver of the meeting. I had a weak moment once, and it should never be repeated. And you look further down. Jamie Jeffrey, he had a great set of races as well. What did he do in the first race? He finished 9th in the first race and 8th in the second. That's consistent.
Yeah, 2 top 10s again.
Yeah,
if you can run in the top 10, it was a large field tonight.
Yeah.
So a top 10 is a significant step up.
It is. So, where's my vote going to go? I think my vote has to go between either Sam Blease or Rob Sharp. And I think I'm going to have to... do you know? You can't ignore it. I'm going to have to go and vote for Sam Blease. I'm going to have to vote for a winner. And that's out of character for me. It really is.
Yes,
But,
I know.
Yeah.
But,
That's it.
I would have given it him if you didn't.
Right, okay.
So I think it's fair enough. He was going to get it. So I think it's fair enough that you give it him because he certainly deserves it. That was just inspired.
Yes,
And
it
brave.
was. It was brave because he could have thrown away everything. He could have ended up at the back.
No.
So great bit of driving from Sam Blease. So he's got my vote for tonight. And yourself, Alan?
Oh, I'm going to give it to Spencer. I was
Right.
just that outstanding courtesy. Give that place back to Gary.
I think that is a very, very fine and honourable vote.
Gary would have been burned by that,
Yeah.
There's a lot of points involved, and Spencer would have been deeply upset to think that it was costing his mate points, and he gave up a lot of places, and that's the kind of dignity and honour that these guys have got.
Yeah.
Got to be rewarded.
And we watched it a couple of times on the broadcast, and it was the most innocuous of touches, but sometimes these cars react badly to that little touch, leaning into a corner. And obviously Gary sailed off into the gravel. But for Spencer to give up those positions just to redress that situation is impressive. So hats off to him, and I think that is a vote utterly well spent. So we now look forward to next week. Before next week, we have Clio's. They run on Friday. I'm about to go and find out which track it is. It's Rudskogen, of course, because I'm, scheduled
It's going to be
race
great.
that.
Honestly, Rusko's going to be great with the Clios, Pete.
Do you know I've never driven the track?
Oh, well, it's going to... No.
You know how crashy I am when I have driven the track. I mean, I'm going to be lethal on Rudskogen.
No, it is. It's quite a hairy place, so yeah.
Oh, well, don't tell me that, because I might not turn up.
No, you have to get some practice in.
You're not allowed to practice. That's not what it's about. It's an arrive and drive. And oh yeah, it's
not fair if you've never been to the circuit, though, is it? Because I've been there and done, 3 race nights there.
right. Okay. Yeah. I've never even I've broadcast it obviously, but I don't think I've ever driven a lap round it. So that happens on Friday, and this league obviously goes to Okayama next Wednesday, and then V8s are back on your screens on I think it's the 12th. I'm not sure. I'm just about to find out. So bear with me a second. It is the 12th of August. It's Willow Springs. It's the 2-hour endurance.
Willow Springs.
Yeah.
The 2-hour endurance at Willow Springs in the V8s. Oh, my word.
That'll be a lovely, lovely race. There'll be no crashes at all, honest. And it'll be a real spectacle. So that's on the 12th, so there's a little way off yet. In the meantime,
another new circuit though, Pete. People won't be familiar with it.
No, it's going to be very, very interesting. I think there'll be a spread of different capabilities for that reason. The fact that it's a new track and a new track car combination for a lot of them. So yeah, that should be very tasty and very interesting. As it happens, we now need to leave Road America. We've got a long journey to make over to Japan. And so we shall say goodnight now. Thanks to all the drivers and racers. You're what makes this league happen. As Rob Sharp said, this is probably the best league, best private league that exists for the community, sportsmanship, safe driving. If you want to be part of it, then please sign up. If you like what you see, then we'll see you next week. Thanks to Alan for joining me yet again in the booth for an amazing night's racing. It's always a pleasure to have you talking alongside me. And I'll pass it over to you now, Alan, to say your good night. So good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Good night, Pete, and good night to everybody who's listening. It's been really, what a night. We've seen some real action tonight, and I knew it would be fast, but I didn't realise we would see anything like the magic of Sam getting to the end without fueling. That was magical, and beautiful courtesy by Spencer. Really a fantastic night's racing, just what we want, and more to come at Okayama. See you then.